Greetings and welcome to RPGs Uncovered. We are back for episode 4 of Cyberrats, Corpo-Rat, Shills. I am super excited for this session, as I say every week, because I'm super excited for every session, because these wonderful people bring joy to my life in the form of rats and mayhem, and way too many fuels for a Lumen game. Speaking on that, though, we just finished up, in-game, we'll get to the recap, but we just finished up the first main story mission, the assault on the military Alpha Black Site, Alpha 3. So we're going to jump into this episode, dealing with the ramifications of that and performance review, and then actually enjoy some nice downtime and role-playing, and then, of course, get back onto regular missions. But we're going to try to get a little less gunfight in today and a little more wordplay in. So we'll see what we come up with. Before we get to that, then, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. You are watching RPGs Uncovered, a series dedicated to showing just how quick and easy it can be to learn a new RPG. Speaking of that, I just released the first of many upcoming bite-sized tutorials for Cyberrats. This one, looking at character creation, it's just over 7 minutes. It has everything you need to know about character creation, walks you through it step by step, 7 steps. A little bit of commentary. There's even I even bring up a character sheet and fill it in as we're going to give you a little demonstration of how it all works. Real fun, very simple, nice video. Go check it out. That is up on YouTube right now. It is also going to go up on our Ko-Fi for free, where there will also be a written version of that guide with probably a little extra commentary on there. That will be free, of course. It's just for heading over to Ko-Fi and checking that out. But while you are there, consider supporting, because it's a great way to let us know that you enjoy what we do, and it helps us create more content. Anything we get in through Ko-Fi will go straight back into the community to help buy new games, fund Kickstarters, work with artists and musicians and other writers, and really bring in even more indie creativity into this channel. So go check that out. We have after shows, we have those reference guides, we have all of my notes going up on there with some of my own extra insights, and a few more blog posts coming about, my thoughts and feels and philosophy on Cyberrats. So go check that out if you like what we do here. You may also have noticed that I have been coming out with even more Whip Workshop creator interviews recently, and that is not going to slow down. I've had 2 uploaded already, and next week we are going to be back with Stoneburner, I believe it is. Let me just double check that. Yes, on the 22nd, we're going to be talking with Renee Piare, I believe it is, working on Stoneburner. Basically, dwarves mining asteroids in space. It looks fantastic. So come hang out with us on Twitter and Discord if you'd like more updates on what we're doing. But that's it. I'm keeping it brief. If something cool happens during the show, clip it. Let's throw it back over to the cast now so that they can say hello and we can get to our characters. Let us start as we always do. Alex, creator of Cyberrats. Thank you for joining us once again.
Yes, thank you for having me. As always, I am Mr. Cyberrats, creator of this game, and the reason we are able to gather here today. But I am probably the least interesting one of all the people here, so I will pass it to the next one in line.
All right, Q, you're up.
Oh, hello, it's me, Q. I am playing Pack-Rat and Hank, also aka Hellraiser. So I had to get it in there at least once. Yeah, I'm just a jester on the internet, just clowning around. Don't mind me.
In the best of ways.
I try.
Yeah. Yes, and apparently on Twitch still thinks you're dead, because I cannot figure out how to make that work. Exclamations don't work. I'll see if I can add like an apostrophe or something. We'll see.
I think on our Thursday they have like little like dashes.
That could work. Mm-hmm. Foreshadowing. Aaron, take it away.
We'll see.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm a game designer, performer, You can find me on Veil's Edge Games on Twitter or Itch. Yeah. Short and sweet.
Awesome. And finally, last but certainly not least, JD. Hello and welcome again.
Hi, I'm JD. I will be playing Ian and Hayden today, and I am a player and sometimes GM, and you can find me on all socials at JD, not Jason Dean, if you want to see what I'm up to.
All right, and stick around for the outro when we are finished with our show for more updates, more specifics on where everybody can be found. Let us then jump into our story for today. Cyberrats, Corpo-Rat, Shills. Let's actually, before we get into that, because we had such a big mission last week, I'm going to throw it back to you guys for a recap, just to see where it all landed with each of you. So let me throw it to Q, actually driving the truck into this facility. Not that we need to start there, but take us away, Q. I'm putting you on the spotlight. What happened last week?
Oh, goodness. The mission was a success. It was also a mess. So we were able to use the back entrance effectively, which would get us closer to where we needed to be, Central Command. However, there were some obstacles getting up to the base still. Let's see, I believe Esme was supervising in getting things done. Now, she did pull some pretty crazy shit, some secret agent like appear and disappear and reappear, stab someone in the back, so that was pretty great. But it wasn't a clean kill.
Esme also brought along an assistant.
Right. Which
Survived.
also
Amazingly.
He did survive.
Yeah.
is true. But so did the adversary.
Yes.
And that adversary caused us a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Yes, it
adversary
did.
which increased biotech cost of all your powers by 1. Yeah, it was a drain last week. Hi, Hope. Thanks for stopping by. Let's who's next? Who wants to jump in there? How'd the mission go in bulk?
I mean, the general showed up, and we all ran for our lives by making a door. I believe that was JD. Which one?
A door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We used some grenades to make a way out and run for our lives.
And stole a mech.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, talk
Yes.
about the Mac.
Yeah, Packrat stole a mech.
Apparently.
So
yeah.
cool.
So you recovered. You stole, commandeered a Valdivian mech, a Valdivian branded military mech. You retrieved the data you were there to steal from the main computer of this base, and then smashed your way through the exterior wall and made your escape while classified, this strange alien hybrid monster thing that you didn't really get a great look at, chased you down and tore through the facility after it was released by General Willard Crispin, who we don't really know the fate of, but as you were leaving this facility, you could hear the screams of soldiers, the rat-a-tat of gunfire, explosions going off in the distance. You could see lights flashing. You could see barriers being raised, these very similar hexagonal grid, green, translucent, shimmery energy barriers popping up. And I'm actually going to retroactively throw one of those in your path, because you did have the bird device created by Dr. Tallulah Tales that you retrieved from one of your previous missions. So as you are fleeing this facility out, after you get past the chain link fence, the barbed wire on top, you're making your way through the forested hills there, and you are almost to the clearing you need to get to reach your tactical blimp for the escape, for the extraction, and you see one of these walls throw up, and I believe it was Pack-Rat, right? Who had the bird. So you flip the bird, it glows green and punches through this energy barrier, slowly whirring down after that, and you're able to climb onto the rope ladder leading back up to the tactical blimp and make your way home. And that is where we are going to pick up today. And as our tactical blimp slowly drifts into the docking bay of this commandeered alien spaceship that is now the GDG HQ, the camera isn't going to immediately cut to the boardroom, but instead is going to pull back. It's going to pull back and fade until it fades into a door. A very nice door. A very solid, dark wood, very fine door. Gold, intricate hand knob with a stylized V in the center of it. And you can see the placard on the top of the door reads Lyra O'Neill, Chief of Operations. The door is going to slowly creak open, but we don't see a hand open it. It just slowly creaks open. And we can see this strange shadow on the ground being backlit, projected from the light of the hallway as we enter this very nice, very spacious office. Bookshelves and monitors on the walls, a deep red carpet on the floor, a similarly heavy dark wood desk, and behind that a high-backed leather chair turned facing away, looking out a large window. You can't see who is sitting in it, but you do see that shadow, which is strange. It's vaguely humanoid, but you can see there are large angular parts sticking off of sections of it. And you can see coming out of the head, there seems to be these tendrils that just sort of wave, lash out occasionally. Sometimes go down to one of those angular pieces and stick in for a second before it lashes out again and settles. And we hear in what is vaguely a normal human voice, very gentle but monotone, devoid of most feeling of any kind. Mrs. O'Neill. Updates to our parameters. The military site designated Black Site Alpha 3 has been assaulted. Preliminary reports suggest the GDG alliance. New parameters factored into simulation. Estimation of project success now down to 67.3%. And the scene hangs there for a moment before the chair turns just enough to see long black hair draped over an arm reach kind of to the side and behind and pick up a wine glass, disappear behind. And then we hear the shatter of glass as the camera fades to black. And we pick up once more in the office of Director Imalaya, back on the ship, ready for our performance review. But before we actually jump into what she has to say, we zoom in on the monitor there, which reads Operation Alfredo down. And preliminary reports are just coming in on its success or failure. So let's see what that looks like. last week we handled the primary mission. Now we have to figure out if the secondary mission was a success, and that is Operation Alfredo Down. To remind everyone, Operation Alfredo Down targeted the interlopers, specifically a weapons depot that you were tasked on destroying. It was a stealth-based mission and a deadly mission, which does get factored into the dice roll here. And the general gist of it is that you were supposed to go in there, blow everything up, and that should deal a significant blow to the interlopers' ability to field units and hold DC. So let's take a look at our secondary mission. We have our handy-dandy campaign tracker on Roll20 provided by Alex. All of these resources are free on Roll20. You don't even need a Plus subscription. It is fantastic. So we can plug that in right there. But to remind ourselves, because this is a demo play series, let's look at the specific parameters of the secondary mission. So, we start off with a dice pool of 1 die. And to remind ourselves, on this secondary mission, we had... I don't have these spaced out correctly. We had Nibbles, we had Ash, we had Hank, and we had Ian, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so we start with a dice pool of 1 die. For every 2 operatives that have a career, add 1 die. Each of you have a career. 4 operatives, that's another 2 dice. Somebody can... Cool. I see you're already plugging that into the campaign tracker. For each injured operative, subtract 1 die. Now, Ash was injured, so 1 goes away there. I believe everybody else was healed up. All right. For each operative with a weapon or gear with 3 or more tags, add a die. Who's that? Who has 3 or more tags on their stuff?
I've got 1.
1 for Nibbles, 1 for Ash. Awesome.
1 for Hank.
Right, Hank. Not Nibbles. Nibbles. Do you have No. Okay. Cool.
Oh,
My eyes and brain didn't match up there. Okay. Cool. We're looking at 4. For each operative with a power from rows 3, 4, 5, or 6, add a die. Does anyone have those powers yet? I don't know if we're there yet. No.
Not with this one.
Interns on the mission. There are no interns on the mission. If any of the target factions have a threat level of 3 or higher. Now this was targeting the interlopers, and they are threat level 2, so everything is fine there. So it looks like we're at 4 dice.
Sweet.
Somebody go ahead
Respectable.
and roll for our secondary mission, and we'll see how it turns out.
Who wants to do it? I don't want.
it's all you.
Oh God. Please. Okay. Okay. It rolled 5. I don't. But still, even the first one, like the first 2,
Yeah.
is a success.
All right, that is a full success. Not
Phew.
sure.
Ash is back.
Not sure where that messed up in the campaign tracker, but we'll figure that out later. To my count, we were at 4 dice, so we will just shave off that last 6. But the 6 and the 5 in the front of that make that a complete success. So that means not only is the mission a complete success, but we also get to heal 1 injured operative on that mission back to an uninjured state, which I believe is Ash.
That's Ash, baby.
All right. And each of those characters will get 4 script for a successful completion of a secondary mission.
Great.
for the primary mission, that is 1d6. It's normally 1d6 plus 1 for script, and then an extra 1 for each character that killed an enemy during the primary mission. Because we are truncating the entire gameplay loop, the entire campaign, into this demo play series, I am adding a little bit of handicap on there. So I am doing 1d6 plus 4, plus the extra 1 script for a kill. So if we roll that, we are looking at, that is a 6 plus 4 is 10 script for each of the operatives on the primary mission, plus 1 for each kill, plus 1 for any number of kills during that mission, and I believe everybody managed to bring somebody down during that last mission. So that is 11 script for the primary, and 4 script for the secondary mission. And now that all of our bookkeeping is out of the way, we see some of those details scroll up on the screen for Operation Alfredo Down, and it's listing a number of it's a brief inventory of the various munitions and items and vehicles and stuff that you saw at this depot. And we see these entries pop up. Missiles, ... destroyed. Crates of ammunition, ... destroyed. Hover tank, ... destroyed. And then because you rolled a 6 there, it actually says underneath that, recovered assets, and it lists off a number of various weapons and grenades and currently unknown alien technology that our science team and R&D are going to be able to play with. So with that, we will zoom out of the monitor there and see once again all 8 of our Cyberrats crammed into this little office, the office of Director Himalaya, once again looking out the large main bay window of the ship, this alien vessel. And she is going to turn around. Again, Himalaya, this middle-aged woman, maybe late middle-aged woman, hair up in a silvery tight bun, gray and white pinstripe power suit. She turns around and she actually does look quite you're not sure if it's impressed, but at the very least amused, hopeful, excited. 2 more successful missions, and 2 very important ones at that. Congratulations, our Cyberrats. Operation Alfredo Down was a complete success. Above and beyond the mission parameters, you were able to recover a number of resources, which we are going to put through our departments and see what we can produce. In the coming weeks, we should have potential new ammunition for you of some variety. I will let Dr. Tallulah Tales handle the details there. Other than that, resounding success. The weapons depot was destroyed. What little remained should be salvaged by the local militia in the area, and forces are already beginning to retake the capital. That is extremely good PR for our companies. As such, you can find the bonus in your pay. You cannot say that the GDG does not compensate its employees fairly. On to Operation Poppin' Parmesan, the infiltration of the Black Site. From your initial reports, this did not go as smoothly as the other operation, though it was a success. We've already passed the intelligence gained back to HQ and through Dr. Tallulah Tales to see if there is anything more that she can pull from that. This was a loud operation, but fortunately this is a site that is not widely known to the general public, and therefore it is up to the military to handle the PR nightmare of that. I am concerned about this alien hybrid creature you saw. You were not able to capture it or take it down.
We were not.
Big.
We did leave it in a building full of highly trained military personnel. I'm sure they can deal with it.
I mean, it was killing them, so I don't really know if I'd go that far.
Well, I mean, but they have more bodies, right?
Yes, and more bullets, but I don't think it cared about either one.
It was kind of, you know, scary.
They
Yes.
had
Right.
contained for a reason.
Well, then in that case, I think our PR situation on that one solves itself if there's no one to actually report our activities there. I think that counts as a stealth mission.
Perhaps. We will monitor information coming in and out of military and Valdivian sources. I was informed that you were able to recover a valuable piece of technology, however. A Valdivian military-grade mech suit.
Yes, we were.
Well, that should certainly prove useful. Unfortunately, it is going to require quite a bit of reprogramming and repurposing before we are able to field anything resembling the unit that you came back. There are a number of failsafes and VI protocols inside the actual operating system that would make it difficult and dangerous to field on as it is. But commendable
course.
that you were able to return it intact. Once again,
Will
I will
we have to pay for these? Sorry. Will we have to pay for those modifications?
Well, I will leave that to Dr. Tallulah Tales as to what she can fabricate with the help of Big Neil. But no, like some of the other equipment and intelligence resources you've brought back from previous missions, they have not cost the GDG any appreciable compensation, and therefore we can pass on the benefits straight to you.
Hayden, kind of very innocently in response to that, asks, why do we have to pay for our weapons? I mean, it seems like it would be a lot more helpful if you just gave us what you had so we could do these missions more effectively.
It's quite simple. Our worth is not equivalent to the equipment that they provide for us. Did I get that right, Director?
That is mostly correct, yes. Very good. In more details, the equipment that you take with you, we cannot reliably expect to get back. The 8 of you have proven surprisingly resilient. However, your success ratio is a tad higher than other field units, which is commendable, and one of the reasons why we provide you with various bonuses that other units might not be accustomed to. But yes, if an asset of any appreciable value is utilized on a mission where it cannot be reliably returned, that cost must be passed on to those using it. And that allows us, in turn, to spend that currency to create even more weapons and devise even more equipment for you to purchase and bring forth on future missions. And thus, the great spiral of economy continues.
Okay, you make us pay because you think we're gonna die. I've got it.
In short, yes.
Speaking of us proving ourselves out there, any chance I can try out any of those explosives that we recovered from that weapons depot?
They will have to first go through. They will first have to go through R&D and testing. We should have usable product for you in the coming weeks.
Sure.
I drove a forklift. Am I going to get one of those too?
There are forklifts down in the cargo bay if you would like to drive one around. However,
I
I don't
would.
believe it would be a useful asset on most missions.
Right.
We think you'd be surprised, Director.
It was very useful on this one.
Don't worry, Joe. We're gonna get you forklift certified.
Thank you.
Well, with that, I do see that your assistant Trisha returned alive and well, and with quite an experience to put on her resume. So we will keep her housed here on the ship for you to utilize in further missions should you choose so. However, the reports of an enemy operative worry me. I believe that was what damaged your ability to operate efficiently during this last mission. They seem to be able to... They seem to have refined some of the technology related to Kolomir's cage. That is something you are likely going to have to deal with in the field until you are able to find that operative, or at least the technology that they are utilizing, and silence it.
Yes, I'm not a fan of that one. I think we should make killing him our priority.
Yeah. That sounded nasty. Like everything you did, like, hurt more? Or, like, cost more of the juices and whatnot?
The second, yes.
Oh, yeah, that sucked. Yeah. Oh, hey, question. Can I, like, hire Geralt as an assistant?
I don't believe that would be wise. Utilizing his particular skill set on an active operation. If you would like to avail yourself of his services while you are here, take full use of it.
I mean, he wants to be on the field. I'm just trying to help the man out, you know? You know, rat to rat kin.
This is
Quite.
the bartender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one that identifies as a rat.
Very well, he can replace Nibbles.
What did I do? I can't be replaced.
You
I'm the
didn't
most
do
important
anything.
hacker here.
Okay, I mean, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, yeah? Remember,
You think that
we-
secondary mission would have gone as well without me? I was essential
Yeah.
to it.
hey, remember we had a talk of like, you need to fucking chill, just like, just a couple notches, just a few.
You're always telling me how to be different. Nibbles, stop leaving your rats around. Nibbles, stop leaving your rats in my bed. Nibbles,
We
stop
talk
being
like-
so worked up. Nibbles, why is this rat in my food?
We talked like twice, mate. What are you talking about?
I know that none of you like me. I hear
I
you.
like you fine. You're great. I like
Well,
your
I don't
rats.
like you either.
Okay. Hey, let's listen to maybe what the words were that I said. I like you just fine. Now, what did you hear?
This isn't about me. Don't make this about me.
Okay, it kind of is though, mate. I said I like you, and you went, I don't like you either. So, hey, you good?
I'm great. I'm great.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes, you're the one who has a problem with me telling me
I
not to
don't
leave
have
my
a-
rats places.
No, I don't have a problem with that, Nibbles. I've never had a problem with that. I've always just returned them to you when I found them because I don't want them to get lost.
That's right. Thank you. At least someone appreciates me.
I'm right here.
My
fucking
my
Joe
brother
Bimbo.
just said that he appreciates you too.
It's what he said, yes. Sometimes people say things they don't mean. Now, what were we talking about?
I was asking if Gerrat could be an assistant, but apparently not.
Oh, yeah. The bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as entertaining as this rat melodrama is, Nibbles, there is the issue of you walking out of our last briefing.
Yes.
Oh, so you can do that like right now. Like right here, right now.
That is conduct unbecoming of a corporate agent, and I would advise you
Then-
to stay until you are dismissed, or else your employment under these terms may quickly change for the worse.
Are you threatening me too,
There we go.
Director?
I am simply outlining the guidelines and parameters of your current responsibilities. And if you are unable to uphold those responsibilities, we can find lesser ones that you should be able to adhere to.
I assure you, I can meet the top, the mostest ones, not the lesser ones. You won't have a problem with me. I will follow you around until I am dismissed.
Well, your evaluation will be ongoing.
As will my employment, I'm sure.
I believe that covers everything we need to discuss during this debriefing. I give you each leave to spend some time as you will. These were two difficult missions that you returned from quite successfully. We will attempt to hold off any operations until you have some time to decompress. Dismissed.
Aye.
All right, let's hit the bar then. I'm feeling great. I don't know about anyone else.
Nibbles. Are you
Yeah.
all right?
Yes, why does everyone keep asking me that?
You seem to be in distress.
I'm not in distress.
Very good.
I'm just under a lot of pressure right now.
Same thing. And Packrat's just gonna turn and leave. Like, generally they're very, controlled and contained. Currently, they are the rats of their swarm are a little erratic, a little twitchy. The form is not as tight and together as it normally is. because still injured. But yeah, you say something about the bar?
Yeah, let's. It was a good mission. We deserve it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ash, you are a lot of fun. Like, so much fun. So many explosions. I didn't think we could have more explosions. And then we did. Hayden,
You're
there was
you're
so
great
many
too.
explosions.
When I
There
don't
were
have
so many
to keep you
explosions.
alive.
So many.
Oh, that sounds really cool. That sounds really, really cool.
Sure, but you got to tell me what about this creature? The thing. I heard there were lots of eyes and like big lip. No.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was
Hey.
a lot.
But you lived. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Exactly. It's all good.
And you did.
Yeah. Still here.
That's good.
Yeah. Of course. Think I'd leave you right now.
I mean, I'm not used to being out in the field without you, so.
Well, now you know you can do it, yeah? Plus, I left you with Joe. Joe wouldn't let you, come to harm too much. Isn't that right, Joe?
I put them in a forklift, all of them,
See?
and in a box
put you in a
on the forklift, and then I drove them around.
Right. See, of course. Safest place in the world.
I think the
With Joe.
certification isn't really necessary. They just try to make it so you have to read in order to drive one of the things.
Yeah, I think you're
Right.
right. You did a really good job.
Yeah, who needs reading? Right. Yeah, of course. So yeah, bar. So we're gonna head to the bar. I'm sure we're walking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I think this might be when Ian holds back to talk to Nibbles and just says, "Hey, I think we should touch base for a moment."
Touch base.
Nibbles, I don't know what's been going on with you, but I mean, man, you're getting a little paranoid.
Who told you that?
My point exactly.
Look, can you keep a secret?
Probably.
I have a brother, Kibbles. And the thing is, he depends on me for support. I don't get paid a lot. I mean, we probably get paid about the same amount. Maybe I get paid a little bit more because I do a better job than you, but we get paid about the same thing. And I sent what I can back to Kibbles, and there's another hacker on the team. You know about Pack-Rat, right?
Obviously, I know about Pack-Rat. I'm on the team as well, Nibbles.
Right. Okay. I just found out about this, about Pack-Rat. I think he's better than me. When we went on that first mission, I didn't know it. I was just chewing wires randomly, and remember how we all got electrocuted? That was
I
my
do.
fault.
That tracks.
I don't think he would have made that mistake.
I don't think you're wrong.
So you see why I'm concerned that if the director finds out, I'm gonna get fired. I'm not gonna have a job, and then Kibbles won't have any food.
You know, honestly, Nibbles, this has been a really insightful conversation.
You won't tell anyone, right?
You asked me not to. I won't. What are you worried about people finding out? You're worried about people finding out that you have a brother? I mean, Hank has a sibling.
Look, I need this job, and if they find out that Pack-Rat is better than me, what am I gonna do? I'll be back in the sewers.
All right, Nibbles, I think you need to calm down a bit because your skills are still valuable. I mean, that's part of why we needed you on the other team for the mission. We needed someone who had those skills who could do that job while Pack-Rat was going on the other one. So I mean, it's not like you're going to be replaced because there's another hacker.
2 hackers is okay?
Two hackers is fine, Nibbles. I mean, listen, what I'm worried about is the way you've been acting. I mean, you are burning bridges left and right. And what I don't want for any of us, and what I don't want for you, is for you to be out on a mission and nobody has your back because nobody thinks you have their back. I don't want that for you.
Right. I have to look out for other people so they'll look out for me. So I can look out for Kibbles.
That is one way to take all of that. Sure. If it works. Fine.
Thank you. You're a good friend.
I'm not trying to go that far, but sure, we'll go with that.
Do you mind if I make you my next of kin? In case something happens?
Are you sure you wouldn't want that to be your brother?
I mean, that's who it is now, but... if he does come work here, he's gonna need a friend.
Yeah, you can make me your next of kin.
Thank you.
All right, I think we all want the same thing, Nibbles.
Yeah.
We need to remember that we're on the same team.
Thank you.
And Ian goes to join the rest of everyone at the bar.
Yeah, let's zoom down the hallway while they make their way back to everybody else, and zoom down the corridors through the ship past a whole bunch of doors that are still clearly alien and clearly not open. A lot of red lights, access denied in alien language, until we get to what's probably a maintenance room of some kind that has been refitted as an onboard distillery and bar. And there we find, obviously, Garrett, the bartender. But Garrett is also joined by Dr. Winona Whiskers, who is at the end of the bar, just sort of sipping on some... it's probably a vodka cranberry. It is very clearly just really milking it for as much as she can. She's barely taking a sip, and it looks like Garrett is a bit upset right now. But the rest of you walk into the bar, and I will let you have at it.
Garrett.
Before Nibbles and Ian get there, Esme's just like, for what it's worth, I don't like Nibbles.
Esme, we're fairly certain you don't like anyone except yourself and the director.
That is not true. I like Joe, and I am beginning to tolerate Hank.
Wait, you don't like me?
And
Yeah.
Hayden.
That means a lot, thanks.
Yeah, it does mean a lot, thank you.
Are you gonna stop calling him your employee?
Well, I mean, he is my employee.
Yeah, really? How much you paying him?
Well, it's really for exposure, but...
Oh, exposure, yeah. It's like an internship. Yeah, all right, sure. Hey, Joe.
I've heard exposure's good.
Joe, the job's
Yeah?
shit, mate. Need to find a new one.
A new one.
Yeah, this is that job? Yeah, working for her? Trash. She's not paying you right.
Well,
Exposure.
my old job was just moving boxes around.
Sure. So here's the thing. The director's your boss? Not her. She's not a boss. She's trying to be a boss lady. She's not there yet.
But no, she's a supervisor. She was really helpful. She supervised us on that mission.
So
And
you mean
we lived.
she watched you do things?
I mean, yes, but she also did a lot of cool things. She like teleported a couple of times. It was really cool.
Okay, all right. So you weren't a voyeur then. Good. Love that for
All
you.
right.
All right.
Hayden just got bumped up to like.
See? Listen, when you pay her compliments, then she likes you. I am gonna give her shite every opportunity I can. Speaking of which, Garrett, we need drinks. Why do you look so long in the face? What happened?
Hank, buddy, welcome back. Yes, long face. My face is as long as it normally is. You have to account for the.
Don't. Just don't. Nope.
What can I get you, friend?
Yeah, whiskey, hardest shit you got. It was a very tough fight, and I need it. No, why are you looking upset, sad, all that fun stuff? What's going on here? Like in
Oh,
here
that's nothing. That's doctor stuff. You know,
I'm gonna
doctor
look over
stuff.
at the doctor. I'm gonna look over at the doctor. What'd you do?
We were just having a discussion about what it is to be oneself.
Please continue. I would love to hear this.
Well, I think, unfortunately, despite the location we're in, I think that's a conversation that was in confidence with our good Garrett here. If he would like to explain.
Doctor-patient confidentiality.
Yes,
Got it.
it's very important.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Garrett.
Yes, mate.
You don't want to be a rat, mate. I know you want to, but you don't want to.
I'm not sure it's a matter of want.
I feel like maybe it is, though.
But rats are great.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
You like us, see, we've talked about this. Just because you like us doesn't mean you have to be us.
Let me get you that drink.
Thank you, Garrett. Sorry, Garrett.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not gonna call you out your name. Not on purpose, anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna run back. You didn't ask for anything difficult. But he's gonna
just,
disappear amongst the bottles for a second.
Just whiskey neat. Okay, all right. Listen, I'm not going crazy, yeah. Like this is not a thing, right?
I'm just kind of worried about him. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how to make sense of it because I'm a rat and you're a rat and we're both in like these human suits.
Sure.
So could he be a human?
A human in a rat suit.
Yeah.
You kind of need a pretty big robot for that to fit a human in it. That'd be like several stories tall, like a giant rat. I mean, I know I'm a giant rat, but a bigger giant rat than that.
I mean, just take a brute buddy and put a human head on it.
Sometimes when I was carrying around boxes and I didn't know what was inside of them, I'd just rip open the top and look.
Yeah, and apply that to people, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. At least not like just. You need like a full surgical process for that, yeah.
Oh, look.
Still wouldn't recommend that for emotional problems.
Yeah, well, emotional, like who knows? Like,
I feel like there are some in between stages of like talking before you open someone's head.
Sure.
My father taught me how to solve my emotional problems.
Oh, did he?
Garrett?
Was it hidden?
It's beer.
Ah.
Wait, you had a father?
Sure, everyone's got a father.
Did we
Uh,
have?
I mean,
Hank?
we had like an owner.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a father, but was just a regular rat. Was not
Oh.
attending alcoholic establishments as such.
Oh, we used to live in an alcoholic establishment.
Okay.
Like under one.
Well, in the rafters.
Oh, so above one. Nice.
Sure. My father, he looked just like me, except all his fur was, gray.
We were pets.
Pets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was a free rat. And then they made me big and smart.
They definitely made you big.
And smart. You had really good ideas.
Thank you.
Definitely made big. I love that.
Garrett is going to come back hearing a little bit of this conversation and stop just short of you, Hank, so he can slide the drink down to you in a theatrical way, and then take a couple steps back up to you. You know,
Gonna catch it.
interesting thing, my friend. I knew your father. He was a splendid, real big. He was a good boy.
I knew him too. That's something we've got in common.
You. I don't remember you.
Oh, not my father.
Probably another team.
Okay.
I guess it's very different for anyone who isn't a swarm. I don't think of myself as anything before I was Esme because I was just various rats.
Yes.
How does that work, Esme? Do all of you talk to each other?
Well, I think it varies from swarm to swarm, but for us, it's a psychic hive mind. For me,
Psychic hive
rather.
mind. That sounds so cool.
Whereas we are a collective.
That also sounds cool.
Thoughts spread from the core to the outer extremities. We are all one.
Yeah, collective. That would be cool. Oh well.
I'm sure we
you
could.
You would have to be in multiple pieces to be a collective, and I don't think that's how it works with bodies.
No. I'm not allowed to work on that anymore anyway.
You were working on that before.
Does anyone else need another round?
I do.
Yeah, give me
Perfect.
some of the foulest drink you have.
Yeah. I've already run out of mine.
He's gonna scurry back to the bar once more. And I think Dr. Whiskers is at that point just going to stand up, push like a good half of her glass still forward onto the bar, stand up and start walking out of the room, kind of give your group a collective nod and not smirk, but slight smile, kind of understanding, be gentle with the guy smile, and continue out unless anybody intervenes.
Nah. Think we can let her go. That was was more than enough. So, Esme, are you gonna try and apply for an actual position with the company?
I think so. When our current missions are over, I think I'll apply for an executive position. In the meantime, I'm training, becoming better, learning how to kill people with my brain. Well, learning how to kill people more with my brain than previously.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna be another cog in the wheel, just with
Well,
a boa made
eventually I
of
want to
Wheels are really fun.
operate
Do you remember
the
your
wheel.
wheels? Sorry, you're talking.
Yeah, I remember my wheels. They fucking sucked. That's why I took them off. Sorry.
Eventually, once you get high enough, I feel like you get a hand turning the wheel, or the metaphor got away from me, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like a whole lot of work to just sort of stay on the wheel like a hamster. You know.
Technically, I'll be staying on the wheel like a rat, but
Sure.
you've never wanted to be in charge, Hank?
Fuck no. I don't even want to be here.
Well,
Like,
then.
it's like I'm just here until Hayden and I have our debts paid, and then he's gonna be a big star, and I'm gonna be his #1 fan, and probably his security guard for reasons. Did I
Well,
say Hayden? I say Hayden. I hope I said Hayden. I don't remember.
it's good to have goals and work toward them.
Right, you've got yours. We've got ours.
Yes.
Joe, you got anything other than driving around the forklifts?
Yeah, what do you want to do if you're not going to get forklift certified?
Well, I'm still figuring out all my options, really. But that forklift was nice.
Sure.
It's real nice.
Well, you ready for retirement, man?
Well, what I'd really like to do is, well, you're gonna laugh.
No.
Promise.
No, we're
Promise I
not.
won't.
So my old job was the barges would come in and I'd pick up the boxes, and I'd take them off the barge and I'd carry them somewhere else. But sometimes I'd carry a box from somewhere else and put it on the barge. I always wonder where that barge went. I'd like to just climb aboard inside one of those boxes and go away somewhere new. Maybe there's another rat on the other end who carry me out and unpack me. But it would be different, you know? Someplace new.
I'd really like that for you, Joe. I think you deserve that.
Yeah. And see? Not laughing.
Not at all.
Thank you.
Of course, man. Just a pat on his shoulder. Think we're just gonna reach over the bar for a bottle.
Yeah, you can do that because Garrett seems to have just disappeared. You don't know where he is.
Of course. Yeah, sure. We're gonna hide the winds from whatever side Hayden's on. It's fine. It's just and just grabbing a bottle. All right. To another successful mission, and to many more, where we don't die and make lots of money or whatever. and get out from under these culprit people's thumbs, or very sensible kitten heels.
Hell yeah, I'll drink to that.
Hell yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's fade out of the bar from there. Do any of you have any one-on-one scenes you'd like to have with each other, or perhaps an NPC? Anything else you want to do before we get to our next mission briefing?
I think Esme. I want to do a thing with Esme for with Pack-Rat for unlocking the room.
Yeah. Over the week,
No, wait.
having
This is an unlocked room. Never mind. Building the room. Then.
yes, over between sessions, they decided to spend some of their script on putting a new room in one of the already excavated rooms. You start with 2 excavated rooms from the start. We threw the clinic in there already because truncating the series, making things more difficult. I think they needed it. And then they decided to spend some script placing the augury room, which will unlock augury powers that they can purchase for use. And they decided to excavate another room. Yeah, so we have the augury being built.
All right. Pack-Rat, you seem to have at least the most knowledge when it comes to how our swarms work. I want to try and make some sort of psychic amplifier. You're good with tech. How do I
Yes,
do
we are.
that?
Alright. First, we will need to find your psionic resonance.
Sounds good. I don't know what that is.
Stand in the middle of the room.
All right. Here I am.
Wonderful. The swarm just starts to scatter and fall apart. Goes all around the room. There are pieces. This is going for an augury, so there are some pieces that are required. Like there's some crystals that pop up. There's eventually a sort of command, like control center tab for input and all that fun stuff. And there are pieces that will circle around the central point where you are. Focus on your internal core, whether that be mind, heart.
Okay. So Esme stands in the center of the room that Pack-Rat helped build, and she is mostly made of black rats with a few white ones, and the white rats just start orbiting her, and they go faster and faster until a psychic beam just shoots out of her straight into the wall of the augury. Oh, that's new.
You requested an amplifier.
Yes, that's very good. I'm going to do that some more. I'll see if I can drag in some, I don't know, practice dummies or something.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Try not to blast this place into disrepair. We just built it.
All right.
Yes, a new augury, a new psionic amplifier. Fantastic stuff. I was working on some cool ideas, and then Soul of Bepis not only giving us a full mayhem meter from earlier, which we were going to get into our next mission, but also just gifted 20 subs. That's incredible. That is incredible, my awesome person out there. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Thank you so much for your support. It means so much that you enjoy the content enough to support and really help us out. But let's jump right back in, not to disrupt anything from gratuitous amounts of gushing. Anything else? Anything else to add for our next mission?
Wait, hold on. I think. Okay, do I pack rat or do I hang?
What a question.
I know, right? You know what? Both of them are good, so I'm gonna let fate decide. Evens is Hayden. Fantastic. So, Pack Rat would like to speak with Ian.
Interesting. Okay.
Where are you having this conversation? Anywhere in particular?
I believe this is a private conversation.
All right.
Specifically, somewhere where they haven't quite figured out how to access the cameras yet.
Probably. Let's say the room that is currently being excavated.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Okay.
So you would have received a single rat from Pack Rat. Just be like, hey, meet me here. And the rest of the swarm is there waiting.
And so Ian walks in, holding the rat in his hands, and says, "You know, this was a little surprising. I'm used to finding Nibbles rats everywhere, but I don't know if I've ever had you send one of yours out in this way to me."
We only do so with purpose. We are better when we are together.
And in that case, I would imagine you would like this one back.
We would. And it just sort of hops off of your palm and returns to the swarm. We will keep this brief. We understand that you have your own personal goals. And while they may not exactly align with our own, the paths are not divergent, per se. You wish to complete a heist.
Correct.
The biggest, the best. In order to do that, you will need to no longer be under the employ of the GDG.
All factual statements.
And we no longer wish to be a part of this organization. So, we have made significant progress in ridding ourselves of debt. We just wanted to let you know that if you need someone to assist you in that process, we are willing to do so. Also, should we fall in battle, you will be our next of kin. We hope that you use what script we have to clear your own debt.
And And I think Ian takes a moment just to take all of that in, especially because this is now the third person who has him as the next of kin. And then just mulls that over for a moment and asks, is there anything you are looking for in return?
No. It is humorous. We speak in the plural. However, the statement that we often say applies to all of us. We are better when we are together.
I cannot disagree with that.
The organization, like the director, wishes to demoralize us, keep us small, when we can be so much more. They would have no success without our work, without our sacrifice. They believe that we do not understand that, or do not care that we know this to be true. We hope to prove at some point that they are foolish.
And I think that's exactly why I asked you if there's anything that you would want to see in return. Anything that I can do to keep your goals moving forward if you are unable to do so.
Support the others. Show them that we are more valuable than they ever give us credit for.
I can do that.
Excellent. We won't keep you. I'm sure you have lots to plan for.
I think I just might.
We're gonna nod and disperse and reappear somewhere else, certainly.
All right. Well, let us then reappear back in the office of Director Himalaya. Yeah, what is Nightbot on about here? Chloe clip to clip, awesome. Yeah, Nightbot gets a little strung out about links.
Just
We
a
had,
little test.
yeah, we had a little problem with bots and link spammers and people being jerks a little while back, so I put that into Nightbot. But I super appreciate the clip. That should show up on Twitch, I believe. Okay. Back in the you are all called over this alien intercom. You were all called back to the director's office for another briefing. This is, of course, after a few days. It's not like you're immediately called back. This whole campaign isn't happening in the course of a week, because it's mission after mission after mission. Even though it plays out very much like that. But you've had some downtime. You've had plenty of time for conversation. You've had plenty of time to get to know each other and purchase rooms, excavate rooms, get your upgrades, and all that. And actually, before we get to the next briefing, there's one more thing we have to do for downtime, and that is our downtime dice again.
Yeah.
because we did not do that at the end of last week because we had to cut it right at the end of the mission. So let's go around and each of you have a d6 to hand to somebody else as a downtime dice.
I'd like to go first, and I
Yeah.
would like to throw mine to Alex for giving us lore with both of his characters. Incredible.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm giving one to JD for that incredible scene with Nibbles. I expected him to just be a villain, and you gave me a chance to make him gray instead of just bad. So thank
Gray
you.
as hell. Love it.
We love it.
Mhm. I mean, you're gonna keep the love train going. Esme is fantastic. Like truly iconic. I love her so much. Aaron, you're getting my downtime dice for sure.
And I'm gonna give it back to you too, because just both Packrat helping out with the augury and also Hank just calling Esme on her
Every
shit.
single time, babes. Every time.
All right. That is downtime dice. Downtime dice work the same way as those action dice you can buy with channel points. So coming up on our next mission, if you want to help our operatives out, you can spend some free channel points and hand out action dice, which can be applied to any role. And there is one more thing to get to before the briefing, and that is actually the fallout for the 2 missions we had to fail. Almost slipped by. Almost slipped
Dang
by.
it. I
Yep.
thought for sure.
Nope.
I was
Nope.
like, we got there, boys.
All right, so we did the actual debriefing of those missions. We handed out script, but we also have to play around with the threat and victory condition meters for how these missions were resolved. So let's bring that up once more. It is fairly straightforward. Here we go. So for our primary mission, Operation Poppin' Parmesan, that was a mission against the military. And the military is a little strange. There is no victory meter, and success on military targets actually result in decreasing the Valdivian victory meter by 2 and increasing the Interloper victory meter by 2. So Valdivian is already at 0. That will probably change, but we do the primary mission first, so we can't decrement that anymore. However, the victory meter for interlopers now goes up by 2 because you set a major blow against the primary assault, primary faction leading this fight against the interlopers. So the interloper victory meter after our primary mission is now 5. 5 out of 10. They're halfway to their goal. But that may change. That is Poppin' Parmesan. This is a strange week in that there were actually 4 missions, because unlocking a story mission does not preclude one of the 3 random missions. The next one, Operation Alfredo Down, was our successful secondary mission. This was against the interlopers. I should format this better. If a mission involves only one faction, on a success, the target's victory meter decreases by 2. So it just went up by 2, it is now going down by 2. We are back down to 3 on our victory meter against the interlopers. Yes.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so we'd hit that one already. So I had adjusted that one already.
You've adjusted that.
It needs to it needs to stay at 5. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
since we'd already hit the secondary mission, I had already done it in the campaign tracker since we were right there. I'm sorry.
Cool.
My bad.
No, I'm not used to. I'm used to keeping track of all this stuff, but I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. And then there are the two missions that we had to forfeit on. That is Operation Saucy Cheeseburger and Operation Charcuterie Crown. One was against Valdivian. That is a failed mission. Let's see. On a failure, that faction's threat level increases by 1, and its victory meter increases by 3, and that is Valdivian. So victory meter goes from 0 up to 3 on Valdivian, and the threat level goes up to 2 with Valdivian. And finally, Operation Charcuterie Crown. This was a joint mission against military and Valdivian. Let's see here. If a mission has 2 factions involved on a success, each faction's victory meter decreases by 1. That doesn't matter because this is a failure. On a failure, each faction's threat level increases by 1 and their victory meter increases by 2. So the military threat level goes up, Valdivian threat level goes up, and Valdivian victory meter goes up by 2. All right. Those are some colorful and dangerous looking bars on our screen.
It's real rough.
3 upcoming. All right. Yes, for the audience following along, because I don't believe you can see this graphic here, our campaign tracker, the military is at threat level 2 out of 4. The military does not have a victory meter, so we don't need to worry about that. Valdivian threat level is 3 out of 4, and its victory meter is 5 out of 10. And interlopers are threat level 2 out of 4, victory meter, again, 5 out of 10. So we're about a third of the way through the campaign or so, and both of our 2 major fail state factors are halfway through their victory condition, and our threat level is increasing. And threat level, of course, makes enemies more dangerous. Most enemies have HP or resources equal to a number plus whatever their threat level is, and do damage on occasion equal to a number plus whatever their threat level is. So those Valdivian units are gonna start looking super dangerous at threat level 3. I see a dice redemption. Who is that going for? Where are we at there? Giving downtime dice to the bartender. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll give Garrett action dice. I'm sure I'll be able to use that by the end of the campaign. I'm gonna make that note.
When you make him an assistant,
we're gonna bring him into the field.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I might just do that. We might just be able to make him an assistant.
We want to let him live his best life.
I will work
let
on
us
that.
do this.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Chloe.
And then take a bullet for us.
Yep. All right. One last time, let's try for this briefing. Back in the office of Director Himalaya, we have set up, as we have seen it a number of times before, the 8 of our Cyberrats crammed into this small office. Himalaya on one side, behind her desk, backlit by the sprawling landscape of the Earth far below. And on the large mission screen, there are 3 operations that can be cycled through. There is Operation Mozzarella Mash, Operation Wayward Curd, and Operation Feta Phantom. Alright, Cyberrats, I hope that you have all taken some time to decompress after your last mission, because we have more problems for you to deal with. Fortunately, however, the intelligence gathered from the military black site has proven quite valuable and has given us a lead on a secret Valdivian research and development site that we believe is key in whatever operation, whatever attempt they are undergoing to thwart the interlopers. It's hazy as to what exactly they are doing there, and so we have some missions that should hopefully be able to shed a little more light on that, and hopefully manage to find a way to get you all into that research and development site. Obviously, whatever work the Valdivian Corporation has achieved in pursuit of protecting humanity is commendable on their part. However, it would be almost just as bad for the Earth to be saved by Valdivian than it were for the interlopers to have their way. We would not want Valdivian running the entirety of our planet. To that note, in an attempt to gain more information on what Valdivian is doing, how it ties to the interloper threat and how to stop it, and most importantly to gain assets and advantages in order to infiltrate that research and development site, we have put together 3 operations for you to choose from. They are as followed. Operation Mozzarella Mash. This targets Valdivian, specifically a hydroelectric dam. This is a power facility that has surprisingly stayed off of not only our radars, but whatever the interlopers seem to use instead of radar. This is a large facility dating back well before the interlopers arrived, yet it is not outputting much power at all, and it is mostly undefended for such a valuable strategic asset. The interlopers don't seem to know it's there. That strikes me as odd. We believe, judging by more sophisticated science than I believe any of you would be able to grasp, our research team, our science teams, have posited that there is a psionic relay device set up, drawing the power from this hydroelectric plant and focusing it into tapping in to the interloper psionic grid. I would like you to go there and destroy that. Not only would it deal a major blow against Valdivian assets and their own development of such technology, but it would surely disrupt the communications and coordination of the interlopers in at least this theater of the planet. For the actual mechanical layout of this, because this is a demo play, it's targeting Valdivian. It is a sabotage mission. It is located at a hydroelectric dam, and the tag for this is actually indirect. So even though it's targeting Valdivian, even though there's Valdivian assets and enemies on the field, the success or failure of this mission will actually determine the interlopers' threat and victory meters. And you can see pulled up on the monitor is a simple exterior blueprint of this hydroelectric plant. It is built on a large river. There is a very big dam. There's a channel off to one side that leads to the spillway. Very, very steep dam slope that goes down to the power plant, and a little off building next to it that probably has maintenance and gear and offices and whatnot. Next, we have Operation Wayward Curd. This is another operation targeting the interlopers. Specifically, you will be tasked to capture a Grey Brain. And not just any Grey Brain. A local militia group has driven out the ruling Grey Brain from their area. It's managed to flee into the remnants of an old carnival and has likely called reinforcements. You are to head there into that carnival and capture this Grey Brain before it can be retrieved by its comrades. You must take care not to exterminate the Grey Brain, for its psionic and intelligence assets are quite valuable. For the mechanics of this, it targets the interlopers, it is a capture mission, it's based in a carnival, and it is a timed mission. The tag on this mission is that it is timed. You have to get the Grey Brain and extract within 5 turns. There is also an aerial shot of this carnival. It is set up on... it is set up around a lake. This lake has kind of a fidget spinner kind of layout, like Y kind of layout. There are bridges between each little spoke there. There's a section for little shops and food stalls and whatnot. There's an area with all the arcade games, and then there's an area with all the different rides and whatnot. But it is dark there, and it looks like this carnival has probably sat in deterioration for quite some time. That is Operation Wayward Curd. And finally, Operation Feta Phantom. This mission will target both Valdivian and military assets. Specifically, there is a sunken Valdivian battleship that has sank to a very deep area in the ocean. We believe, however, that this sunken battleship still has active uplink to the Valdivian datanet, and more importantly, the command authorization codes to input and extract very valuable data onto that datanet. We would like you to go down to that ship and have it authenticate top-level personnel credentials for each of you. That should, if successful, allow you to simply walk through the front door of this research and development site. That is a mission targeting Valdivian and the military. The objective is to falsify documents, get to the main computer and upload those documents, have it authenticated by the command codes on the ship. It takes place underwater on a sunken ship, and the tag for that, it has 2 tags. One is electronic. Enemies down there are going to be mostly robotic. And it has a tag that I created, which is underwater, which reduces the range value of all of your weapons by 1, because it's hard to shoot underwater. You will, however, be provided with deep sea diving gear and mobility kits. So you'll basically have little, like, underwater jetpacks. Monster Mash would have been a good one. I actually went for, what did I go? Mozzarella Mash. Yeah, because mozzarella is in water. Or brine. Anyway.
Gosh.
Missions.
So like, dibs on the carnival. Dibs. I want to go to there.
The carnival would be very interesting. I like
Very
the
fun.
idea of going up against another psychic, but also I do like the idea of the spy craft, but also I hate getting wet, so
I've always wanted to go to a carnival.
Joe, you absolutely, look, you and I need to go to the carnival. Because we're the fastest ones. You and I can get to them quicker. Yeah. All right, so me and Joe, and then...
I'd like to go, Hank. That sounds
Well,
like a
then,
lot
yeah.
of fun.
Yeah. Here we go. Cool. So me and Hayden and Joe. Esme, you want to come mess up with another psychic guy?
I'll come to the carnival with you if you're asking so nicely.
Listen, of course I'm asking nicely. I'm a gentleman, yeah?
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
you go. Yeah, all right. So that's us, which means the other group, you can choose whether or not you want to go underwater or deal with the dam. I mean, personally, I think
No,
dealing with the
I don't
dam
know
would be good.
how well my explosives are gonna work underwater, and even if they do like explode, my explosive bullets might not travel far enough for us to be out of the blast radius. So, not sure how useful I'll be with the whole underwater thing.
In all honesty, the military is still flailing. So a joint attack on both Valdivian and the military, while it would be useful, is not nearly as helpful as focusing specifically on a Valdivian base.
I would agree. I think all of our abilities are much more in line with dealing with that dam and getting rid of that and getting that off the field.
Plus, I added some percussive knockback to Lucretia, so maybe I'll just be able to knock people off the edge of the dam.
We would be very interested to see.
What
So
are
let
your
me...
thoughts, Nibbles?
I used to live in a sewer, and I don't miss having to swim all the time.
So you'd be good with the dam too.
Yeah. Are we destroying the dam?
We're destroying a piece of equipment inside the dam. However, if we need to, we shouldn't, leave out the possibility of destroying the dam.
Right. Well, let's all go hack it. Together. As a team.
Yeah, I think
A
that's
Blow it
wonderful
up. We'll see
suggestion.
how that goes.
I mean, I don't know if me and Ash can really hack it so much, but I like the spirit, Nibbles. Yeah.
As do we.
Good. Good.
No fear of redundancy.
No. You remember what I said earlier about how sometimes people say things they don't mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Nibbles believes that he just communicated clearly.
Well,
Director.
let me throw a little bit more strategery at you guys, and just point out. Yes, primary mission, you are targeting the interlopers, which is good because you got to do something about their victory meter. Then you are looking at targeting the Operation Mozzarella Mash at the dam, which attacks Valdivian assets but actually affects the interloper campaign tracker, the threat level and victory meter. So that will kind of double dip on the interloper threat and victory meter, which is good because they're both relatively high, but it doesn't do anything about the rapidly increasing Valdivian victory meter, and automatically defaulting on a Valdivian and military mission would boost the threat level of Valdivian all the way up to 4 out of 4, and victory
Right.
meter potentially, I think, 7 out of 10.
So that would be bad, especially because they'd be the next story mission.
Yes, and I'm not trying to dissuade you guys. I have no horse in this race, but just throwing it out there because it's a demo play, and I think one of the biggest ways that you're probably going to have a campaign falter or fail or end in defeat is, of course, by not managing these victory trackers.
Now,
Right.
before
That
if
indirect
we-
is a killer.
Yeah. If we are set on doing these missions and we have extra script lying
Mhm.
around, we could buy down a victory meter.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Nibbles does have some script sitting around.
I think Pack-Rat has like 1 left.
Nibbles has 5, so if we want to talk down a victory meter, we can do that.
Sure, and so we could double up on Interloper and still get Valdivian down.
Right.
Okay. Would that affect that wouldn't affect the threat level though, right?
That's a separate purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And that is
it would
yeah.
cost 2 script to reduce a victory meter by 1 point.
Yes.
And then it would cost the cost to reduce a threat level by 1 is the current threat level. So with Valdivian at 3 out of 4, if you wanted to reduce it to 2, it would cost 3 script.
Okay.
So I have a total of 6 across my 2 characters that I could put towards this.
And I have 1.
I think I have 1 as well, but I am willing to put script that we get from these missions towards it too.
Unfortunately, we'll roll before we can reduce.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have none now.
That's fair. We can at least
spend
lower
2
it
to
now.
kick the Interloper's victory meter down 1.
Okay, I've got
That at least
1.
gets us into the safe zone. Right?
Mhm.
You mark that on the
Okay,
tracker, down from 5
did.
to 4 now?
Yep, I moved it down to 4,
Awesome.
and I will spend the script.
Okay, I've got 1. If anybody has another one,
Yeah.
if we get 2 more, we can lower the threat level.
I'll put 1 in towards that.
Okay. All right, and then JD, you said you have 1?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So then we'll lower the threat the threat level for Valdivian.
All right.
Okay. The victory
All right.
meter, is that down? Is it down to
4,
5? Down to 4? Okay.
which should be enough that we don't, lose.
Okay.
All right. So after spending some script, we are going to lock in Operation Wayward Curd as our primary mission at the carnival, and Operation Mozzarella Mash at the hydroelectric dam for our secondary. I will take your silence as agreement.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, could I come up with an in-character reason to not do this? But the answer is no.
No.
Awesome.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so on this primary mission, we have Freighter Joe, Henry Levi Razor, aka Hank, Hayden, Hank's brother, and Esme Vandervon on our primary mission, Operation Wayward Curd. I believe you guys have spent all your script. Check out your loadout. Make sure you have 5 powers, up to 5 powers equipped. You have whatever items you want to bring with you, and Alex, they can field their assistant again, right? Until I kill it.
That's right.
So you can bring Trish along again if you would like, but doing so may cause me to throw my own adversary in.
Which you can do either way.
I could do either
I
way.
was
Yeah,
gonna
but
say I thought you could do that just by virtue of us owning Trish.
Yes,
so
that is
Trish
true.
is coming.
all right, Trish is coming.
We could also put Trish on the secondary mission.
That is true.
Which
Yeah.
The only benefit of that is that we could kill Trish instead of instead of injuring ourselves.
Right.
Not saying we should, just saying it's an option.
Do you think we should?
What benefit does she give again? Remind me.
+1 cyber. So it was I feel like a little more important with the last team than this one.
Right.
Right? Like, well, wait, we
We don't
have.
have anyone injured on the secondary mission anymore. I think we'll be
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, we do. We have
Yeah,
That's
we
not
do.
true. Packrat.
Packrat's
Yeah.
injured.
Packrat's injured.
Rat.
What? Listen, he was real busy being MVP. Okay.
Well, I'm the only one who primarily uses cyber on this team, right?
Yeah, Fredo Joe, not his
Okay,
bag.
we'll put Trish on the secondary team so Packrat
Alright.
doesn't
Yeah.
die.
I will make that note. That is mozzarella mash. All right. With that, the 8 of you will load yourselves up, get all kitted out, and head out to 2 different tactical blimps. Because yes, there are 2 tactical blimps. There are two missions that are always going in different ways. But we're going to focus on the primary mission, tactical blimp. So drop those tactical blimps in chat, and we are going to disembark from the ship on our tactical blimp and make our way to overland past cornfields and cornfields and cornfields and wheat fields and cabbage fields and cornfields along a tiny little river that deposits out to a small lake next to a tiny rundown rural community. And next to it, built up around this lake, is the ghostly skeletal remnants of what was at one point a joyous carnival occasion. Now dark and dirty and grimy and sharp and dangerous. Our tactical blimp, with its dark and light blue camouflage against the evening sky, the twilight sky, is going to float above. Our primary mission team is going to don their flight squirrel suits and throw themselves out of the tactical blimp, and we see the 4 of them all drop into a nosedive towards the bones of this carnival. And you can see, while most of the area is dark, you can see there are 2 blinking green lights. One that is set up at the very top cart of the Ferris wheel, and another one that looks like it is attached to something in the arcade district of this carnival layout. But the safest place to land, away from light, away from things to crash into, and with some amount of cover that you can work with, is down near the shop area. And the 4 of you are going to glide in, pull up from that nosedive, and slowly, precisely glide in between these carnival shops. And I think that is when we are going to take our break. Did you want to throw something in there before we leave Q?
No, that was what I needed.
Awesome. Yes. We're going to go on break. We are finally pretty much at the time I was looking for, and hopefully we are going to be able to make it through this mission. Should be a much smaller mission. I'm not going to say it's an easy mission, but it should be a much smaller mission. I wanted to throw a smaller one in after the Black Site. So we're going to go on a quick break. We'll be off for probably 10 minutes or so. Get up, go do your human stuff you need to do. Go give a little rat some chin scritches if you have them, and meet back here in 10 minutes. Some of you might see an ad. I don't play them during the shows. I don't think they play pre-roll. I really don't know. But we're going to be on break anyway, so let corporate America do its thing in the background. We will be right back in a few minutes and pick up with Operation Wayward Curd when we return. So come back. It's going to be a fun mission, and we have a mayhem meter to work with. So I am going to bring the mayhem during Operation Wayward Curd. It's going to be great. We'll be back in a little bit. We are back for the second half of episode 4 of Corpo-Rat Shills. We've had some absolutely fantastic, heartfelt, and a little bit sassy downtime role-playing, and now we are getting back, jumping out of our tactical blimp, down into Operation Wayward Curd, and the decrepit, dangerous bones of what once was a joyous carnival. And that is where we are going to pick up. The mission that you have so accepted is to find and capture alive a gray brain interloper, a relatively weak enemy compared to some of the other ones that are going to be able to field now, but they are psionic. They have mind buggery-ness to worry about, but because they're psionic, they're usually tied into the intelligence of the interlopers. So go capture this gray brain. We pick up with our 4 Cyberrats gliding in through the space between stalls and food carts and little shops on the exterior of this carnival ground. You land and immediately see neon signs that are now dark, light bulbs that are broken. There's bells and streamers flown from post to post. There are pictures of caricatures of clowns, of bears juggling, of all kinds of carnival tropes. But they look old and run down. The paint has chipped and smeared. Dirt has built up on all of these images. Anything that once produced light is now cracked and shattered on the ground. And immediately around you are a few of these different stalls. You can see a lot of the equipment there is still there. You can see deep fryers that are still set up, obviously off, no power on, but there is this there's this shallow muck in it. There is a ticket booth. There is a couple little knick-knack shops set up, and you take a step forward out into, or at least to look into the main open area of at least this side of the carnival. You turn past one of these buildings and come face to face with a 6-foot-tall clown statue. Its face heavily scarred and worn by the passage of time. And this creepy, at one time possibly joyous if you like clowns, clown smile. But this guy has seen better days. And then his head explodes in a burst of green plasma, and you duck and throw yourselves back behind whatever building you are next to. You have dropped in hot into this mission. Feel free to ask me questions, but take it away. Player phase.
Any sign of the gray brain, or any idea who shot us? Either one.
Yeah, you can see, I'll give you a little rundown of the area. You can see the shot likely came from the rides area. Probably around near the Ferris wheel. Maybe by the tilt-a-whirl, you're not sure. Somewhere around that area. But you have to go across a bridge, at least one bridge, to get over there. In the center of this kind of bulbous Y-shaped lake, there's a fountain. It's not currently on, and the water is still and murky, and there's bugs flying all over the place. But the immediate concern for you guys is after that clown head exploded and you duck behind one of these buildings, as you peek your eye out once more to try to triangulate where that shot came from, you see crawling out behind another building on the other side of this open area, a gigantic lizard creature. 6 legs, kind of crocodile-like, but 6 legs, probably a good 10, 12 feet long, almost miniature, like, stegosaurus triangle spikes along its back, and it is dripping this yellowish, steaming saliva that hits the ground and bubbles as it moves. As far as the gray brain, you are not immediately sure. Probably not in this area of the carnival. All of the stalls here are, you have a pretty good line of sight into them. Most of them are open air. The best strategic place for it to be would probably be in, there's an actual arcade building across one bridge, or in the attractions side, the ride side of the carnival. The only ride there that would provide a strategic enclosure would probably be the UFO ride.
And you said there were previously. You said there were green lights at the top of the Ferris wheel, and where else?
On top of the Ferris wheel, and one by something near the arcade. Now that you're down on the ground, it looks like an extra long antenna was kind of jury-rigged on top of the hammer bell test your strength thing.
Do they look anything like the ones that increase the... Okay.
They do not. In fact, now that you are closer, you are aware that these are interloper communication relays, triangulation relays. This is probably how the interloper reinforcements, whatever is showing up, is going to home in on. So talking mechanically, because this would probably be something you know, and Cyberrats is a fairly gamified game. Just like in XCOM, you shoot those, it'll add 1 to your timer. If you blow them up, it adds 1 to your timer, because the UFO has to stop and retriangulate.
Nice. All right, so we should send 2 of us, or like 2 groups of 2. Like one way, one the other. Preferably with the fastest of us.
Yeah.
Take out those.
You brought Ash, right, Aaron?
I brought Esme.
Oh, it's Esme.
Esme.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Freighter Joe's gonna say Esme and I can go this way.
Cool. Hayden and I go the other way.
All right.
Yeah,
Great.
sounds good.
Before you split, it looks like we have an airdrop. Is that Solobepis again? You drop an airdrop for Hank? Man, you are really loving on us today, and I adore it. Yeah, let's get an airdrop. That is a cost 1 item that I get to drop out of our tactical blimp for you guys. So what can I give you? There is the mayhem meter coming up as well. I'm pretty sure I know what that is going to look like. But let's give you... Where's our company store here? Let's drop you... What would be fun in a carnival? Something that might help you here. I don't think that's going to help. It'd be fun, but that's not going to help. Let's drop you guys... I kind of just like the flare gun. Being able to paint targets is pretty nice. Or
Fair.
paint 2 targets, or apply screwed to 1 target, which is pretty good. So I'm gonna airdrop you a flare gun.
Sweet. Fantastic.
All right. Hank and Hayden going one direction. Joe and Esme going another.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away. Who'd like to go first?
away, Q.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So, Hayden, you and I, let's go. So we're gonna do just like on 3V. We're gonna move one range band forward.
Your group, are you heading to the arcade or are you heading to the rides?
I think we're gonna head to the right.
Okay.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yes, you start out
Mhm.
close range would just be around these shops. It will take one range band to get up to about the middle of the bridge, and
Okay.
then it would be far range to just the very beginning of the rides section.
Okay.
So you're going to use your just like 3V power to get from the close range section to the edge of the near range section up to the middle of the bridge.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it twice.
Okay. That'll get you to the very beginning of all of these rides. You can see towards the back, another range band away is the Ferris wheel, but you are within close range now of the Whirligig, the UFO ride. There's a zipper pillar,
Okay.
and the tilt-a-whirl a little further beyond.
Gotcha. I think most importantly, getting the transmitters is gonna be of some importance.
All right.
But also trying to find the gray brain.
And I think Hayden is going to say, Hank, I've got a really good idea. We just need to get closer to the Ferris wheel, and I think I can deal with it. I have a new trick.
All right.
Battle music.
How much would I need to get us there?
How close would I need to be to teleport to the top of the Ferris wheel?
Well, from ground to the top of the Ferris wheel, I would just say is close range. But
Okay.
you are, if you traveled with Hank, which I believe 3V allows you to, you would still be one range band away.
But then we could move.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then we're gonna do it again.
Okay. Another. So you are using just like 3V 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
One biotech apiece, right? So down 3 biotech. Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the both of you are now at the base of the Ferris wheel.
Yep.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, and you have made this distance in incredible time. You are both cyborgs, right? You have these mechanical limbs and adrenaline shunts and all kinds of fantastic things that are allowing you to just book it, and you tear ass through this carnival to the base of the Ferris wheel. You can see on top there is one of those blinking transmitter relays, and you can see you actually run straight past, and you have to kind of bob and weave past 2 more of these reptilian animal creatures. And as you get to the base of the Ferris wheel, you can see at the very top of it, by that relay, is a humanoid-looking creature, but it's probably some sort of silicon-based life form. It almost looks crystalline. It's humanoid in form. It has 2 legs, 2 arms, a head, but it's all spiky and crystallized. It also has this nasty-looking, glowing orange crystalline rifle that aims down at you. But it's still your turns.
Cool.
It's also glowing blue. There's this faint emanating blue pulse within the center of this crystalline being.
And so that's perfect, because technically to teleport, I do need an enemy to teleport behind. So
Perfect.
I am going to activate teleport to get up behind this enemy and take a shot at them, since I
All
can
right.
also make an extra attack this round.
All right. A power to get up there, and then you still have 2 moves, 2
Yep.
actions. All right. Make your shot. What are you shooting with, and what attribute are you using to roll?
I think the attribute question is always so hard. I mean, I think in this case, you know, I would we allow let's use smash. I like smash.
All right. So you
Sure.
have your knife or you have a handgun.
Gonna be using my handgun.
All right. Yeah, smash isn't just physical brawn or anything. It is just attacking in a very aggressive manner. So you can teleport up behind it and just like unload half a clip into the back of this thing.
Mm-hmm. 110%.
Roll for me.
God. My least favorite part, because now I have to
Let me,
trust the dice.
Cool.
So that's a 4. But that's still a success.
Okay. Yeah, so you teleport up there and you unload into the back of this thing, and your bullets ricochet off the crystalline hide of this being, each one flashing a blue energy as it slams into the crystal and just gets thrown off into the night sky. One of those bullets gets bounced back and actually grazes into the armor. And that's why you take 1 point of HP, 1 damage. The conditional complication here, I'm going to say, is actually a number of those bullets ricochet off and actually hit into one of the support structures for the carriage, and it tilts and starts swaying. It's still attached by one support clamp, whatever it may be, but you are up here with a transmitter and some sort of crystalline entity dangling from the top of the Ferris wheel.
Cool. So for my next action, I would like to destroy the transmitter.
Okay.
Now that I have a better look, does this look like something that would benefit from just shooting at it, or would it benefit from like using some cyber and using the fact that I am a cyborg to disrupt or dismantle it?
You could go about this a number of different ways. It doesn't look like it's particularly shielded in any way. If you apply enough pressure, you could probably just rip it out and throw it, or you could just unload your handgun into it. You could try to hack into it. Whatever way would probably work.
I would just like to smash it.
Just smash it. All right.
Let's see how that goes.
A 5, a complete success. All right.
Beautiful.
Hell
That
yeah,
goes
brother.
beautifully.
Smash away.
Yeah, so I think after, unloading the clip into the crystalline figure, Hayden immediately looks towards the transmitter and just like grabs it in their hands and just flings it off to the side.
All right. I will point out, just in case it slipped by, even though you did roll a partial success, a 4 on that attack, it did not seem to do any appreciable damage.
Yep.
There's
Yep,
some
I caught
shenanigan going on with this enemy. Who's next?
Me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought you already went. Go ahead.
Nope. Hi. So I don't know what's going on. I did like that. Like, did damage and it didn't seem to care at all. Okay. I'm gonna use the last. Listen, we're here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're gonna use the last of my biotech for on the run.
Okay.
So I move up to 1 range and deal 1 close target 2 harm. However, I deal 2 true harm.
All right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Also, so let's see. I should have. Yeah, I do. Okay. So I had one bleed to all trenchy powers that deal harm, which will be on the run. So that is one bleed, and then it increases. It's got another bleed to no. That's skin flaws. Sorry. Yeah. So I have two bleed. Yeah. So he's getting two bleed from that power.
Okay. So 2 true harm and 2 stacks of bleed. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You use a power and just vault yourself up the side of this Ferris wheel real quick. Throw yourself over. Now there are 3 people inside this hanging carriage, and yeah, you run into this creature. What are you doing? Full body tackle, clocking in the face, butt of the rifle.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to come up from like the bottom, just like kick like through and into him. I've been known to break through things before.
All right. Yeah, you climb yourself up and just kick straight up into this crystalline being, and you do send spiderweb cracks through its sort of like lower abdomen area. And then you see a number of small crystalline spikes immediately form and shoot out and jab into your leg as you pull it back. You take 1 harm.
Oh, okay. So it's just one harm. So my soak takes that. Yep.
Yes, it is specifically doing harm, so it does go through. You do apply it to your defenses.
Heck yeah. Fantastic.
This is
Okay, so
the
he got.
reflect tag.
Oh, okay. Okay. Don't love that. So, but I'm still gonna attack him
All
because
right.
I want to break through all of that. I would like for him to die, please. So we're going to attack a lot. Yeah,
How are you doing so?
I got a big sword.
All right. Is that smash by chance?
Absolutely.
All right. Roll for me.
Okay, well, do ski. All right. Any keen I need to worry about?
No keen. Nothing that is going to affect your roll.
Fantastic. Cool beans. All right. We are going to roll. Hiya!
All right, that is a complete success. You take your sword, slam it down into this crystalline enemy. However, even though it's a complete success, it does turn its body just enough that it completely glances off. Just slides right off. Might have even sharpened your sword a little bit, as if it just slid off a whetstone. You can see a flash of blue energy sparkle down the length of this glancing blow. No appreciable damage.
Gotcha. Does bleed still happen?
Does bleed still happen? Alex is shaking his head yes, and he created this game, so I'm going to say yes.
Cool beans. All right, so let's go through some deets about my sword, shall we? Okay, so that was. Let's just roll it so we can see it together. So I ignore soak. It's got to bleed 1. Do the +1 to attack. We already did. Got that. Double harm when I roll a 6, and I get 2 attacks with 1 action.
Okay.
Also, we got hello. Still so many things. Bleed tags go up by 1, so it's still another 2.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's 2. It's 2 more bleed.
Okay. And those stack together, so he has 4 instances of bleed.
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess I've got 2 attacks on this bad boy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it again, because he doesn't seem to really be taking like the actual damage, which is rude. But we're just gonna bleed him. Let's see how it goes. Hell yeah!
That's another full
Let's do it to
success. Another 2 stacks of bleed then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Once again, yeah, you land what should be a promising blow, but defying physics, really, there is a flash of blue light and your sword is deflected. But it still seems to cut just deep enough that you can see this almost milky white liquid, less blood and more kind of like a carbonated whitish water trickle down from where your sword just glanced past this crystalline creature.
How you doing that? That's cheating. Rude.
It leans in and its full crystalline faceplate glows blue and you just get this quick migraine.
Ah. I guess. I mean, do I just do the same thing and hope that all the bleed makes him die? Because I've only got 2. I've got 2 actions. I might as well do it. Sure. Fuck it.
All right.
Why not? Let's see if my luck holds up. Yeah. Smash. Smash. There we go.
All right, 2 more clean hits that are deflected by a flash of blue energy. The first of those hits, he actually manages to shrug away just enough that he's able to kind of backhand you with the spiky backside of his crystalline hand, dealing 1 damage to you.
Gotcha.
The conditional, I'm actually going to I'm going to immediately activate this enemy so that he can attack you. But you do another 2, you do another 4 bleed, right? All right. He now has 10 stacks of bleed on him.
Let's go.
You are literally milking this stone. But I'm going to immediately activate this enemy. And let's see. I don't know about any of these moves. It's better at far range. But I think at this point, just because you've really been slamming into this guy, he's going to flip his rifle over, and it's kind of bladed on the top end of it. It's kind of like a gun blade in a sense, and he flips it over and kind of slashes at you with it, and you're going to take 4 harm, which goes through your defenses like normal.
Okay. Cool beans. Let me also double check. This is a melee, yes?
Yeah, it's essentially melee. It's attacking close range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans. My armor is spiked.
Awesome.
I don't think I don't know if it'll do anything, because he doesn't seem to care about damage, which is rude.
What does your spiked armor do? Deals 1 harm to melee attackers. I think that would go through.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
Okay, so you do 1 harm to it.
Yeah.
You have 4 harm incoming. I see you have 1 soak, so that is going to reduce it to 3, and then it would be applied to one of your pieces of shard. All of that damage is negated, and you blow one of your 2 shards.
Heard.
You do, however, take 2 stacks of bleed yourself.
Well, that's extremely rude.
And you lose 1 biotech. As this sword cuts into you, the crystalline nature of it seems to suck up the blood that comes out of it, and you can feel it kind of pull at your you get this adrenaline spike and then immediate sluggishness as it pulls the blood out of you.
Joke's on you, I don't have any.
Yeah, you're a cyborg, and like any classic sci-fi cyborg, you don't have blood, you just have milk.
Of milk, and I've already used all my biotech.
All right.
We
Oh yeah,
tapped
there you
out,
go.
babes. Let's go.
Jokes on Crystalline Guy. All right. The other two operatives. You were heading for the arcade area.
Joe, you're my ride. Make sure you support the back of my neck when you're moving.
Okay. I'm just gonna grab you by the back of the neck.
Which
and
is just more rats.
Yeah, it's just more rats.
She's a rat swarm. What do you mean back of your neck?
Yeah, I'm just grabbing an entire sack of rats and trying my best. And how far away is the arcade zone?
So, just like going the other way, you are in close range of all these shops. It will take you one move band to get to the middle of the bridge on that side, and another move band to get you sort of square in the arcade area.
All right, we're going just like on 3V twice to get square in the arcade area. That's 2 biotech. Bam, bam. So we're sprinting across the bridge. Freighter Joe just carrying this rat swarm as cohesively as possible. I'm good at moving things. And where does that put us? So we're in the arcade zone. What do I see?
Yes, you see there are a bunch of arcade games set up, a bunch of carnival games, I should say. There's the Test Your Strength game. There's a section for guessing your weight. There's ring toss on bottles, though most of those bottles had been broken, and there's like 2 rings left to this whole little shop here. You could see there's a little rifle that's been corded up to one of these shots, and a bunch of little like alien looking beanbags set up for a BB gun shoot. And then at the top of the Test Your Strength is another one of those beacons. And then on top of all of those other game stalls, immediately to your left, there is an actual like boardwalk style arcade building that has like skee ball and claw machines and all of those cool games.
And we think he might be in there.
That is one of the 2 most strategic places that you could imagine someone trying to hole up.
All right. The first thing I'm going to do.
If it does change what you're doing, on top of the shoot the alien game, you can see another one of these crystalline enemies laying with a rifle, and another one of them that starts walking out of the arcade building.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is is there a hammer for the Test Your Strength?
Yeah.
My goal here, I want to smash the thing, A, because it's the arcade, that's what you do, and B, I'm hoping that if I can get it to go to the top, it'll break the...
Love it.
The beacon here.
Roll me that smash.
It's great.
I'm smashing. That's a 5.
Oh yeah, brother.
Smash away.
Yeah, I rolled it, got a 5 here. So I'm smashing that, and then I think I'm gonna ignore these Kaisers and keep running towards the arcade. So I'm gonna again like scoop up Esme here and use just like on 3V a third time. And now I'm okay. So now I'm like right next to the guy coming out of the arcade. Is that right?
You actually don't need to use 3V again. You are in close range of all of that already.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were actually slags, not Kaisers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
slags.
you,
Okay.
You have 2 slags in close range.
Okay, so there is I'm right next to the guy who's coming out of the arcade, right? I'm gonna use throw. I'm gonna pick him up and chuck him. So it's a deal 2 harm to a close target and move them to near.
Okay.
This is a power. That'll cost another biotech. I just want I just want this guy farther from us.
All right.
And I want to go into this arcade if possible.
Okay, you run up, grab this slag by its ankles, lift him up, and just chuck him to one side. He goes flying several meters. You are a big rat, and you throw this crystalline entity a good 8-10 meters away, and you hear a splash as it lands in the lake. And you move on into the arcade.
Yeah, anything? I'm looking for a gray brain in here. Anything?
You don't immediately see any other movement in here. No.
Okay, then with my last action, I will just help Esme. I'll say, take it away. I've got your back.
Okay. I believe this is the first time we've done any sort of assistance, which is good. So specifically, I believe that means you can lend die to that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Esme's next roll will have +1 die.
Yep. But if it fails, you both suffer the consequences.
Correct. So don't fail.
It's
Esme?
good to know. Yeah, Esme's going to go further into the arcade. Gonna move like a range band further in. Is there anything that I can see there?
You just see a bunch of games lined up. Plenty of places to hide in here. Think about how you might interact with this environment a little bit. Maybe you smash a bunch of machines out of the way to clear areas, see if there's anything behind them. Maybe you move a little more methodically, get into some of the back offices, creep around silently in the shadows behind some of these machines and see if you can outflank anyone who might be in here.
I know what I'm gonna do. I am going to just I am going to just I'm actually going to walk back to the entrance and then just put a 2 fingers to my temple, and you just see a streak shoots out into the center of the room. I am using gravity ball. All
right.
creatures near that point, which I am just putting center mass just far enough away that I'm not affected by it.
That would, however, affect Joe.
Joe's tough.
Joe's tough, yeah.
Esme just yells, Joe, I'm going to bring the creature to you, and also you to the creature. And, yeah, so, all creatures near to that point are pulled to be close to that point. Then all creatures close to that point take 3 harm.
So all creatures that are within near range of that point. So you would actually have to spend a movement band to get out of that area.
Yes, that's what I said.
Gotcha. Just clarifying then. Okay, you coalesce this miniature micro black hole and throw it into the arcade, and it flashes, and there's a wave of energy that gets sent out and then immediately ripples back inward. And you can see from the outside, the camera pulls up and we see this from a bird's eye view, all 4 walls and the ceiling of this building just indent like a tin can that has been crushed. All of the arcade machines, all the claw machines, Ski balls get thrown out of their lanes. All the different like fighting games and dancing games, these terminals get ripped up, and we can see in between the mess of coins and arcade technology, we see a giant 10-foot tall brute rat at the center of this, as all of these machines just smash together. And with that, both of those slags are pulled in as well. You can see the other arcade buildings on the outside of the actual arcade get pulled a bit. What bottles and rings and alien beanbags that were there fly off of the shelves, and these two crystalline enemies get pulled into the center of the arcade and pummeled with all of that junk. However, in that mess, you see no Gray Brain, and you would if it was anywhere in the area.
All right, we've determined there's no Gray Brain in the arcade. Everyone takes 3 damage from that. 3 harm.
Now, it does say take 3 harm, which means it does go through all of your regular defenses. Not that I need to tell you,
That's
Alex,
why
you wrote this.
I figured Joe's gonna be fine, right?
I lost a shard for that.
So those other 2 slags, they eat up the barrier, and then they take 1 damage apiece. Cool. How would that work? Alex, I'm going to ask you a question. In my own games, whenever I have to round anything, I always round up. But in this particular case, I'm talking about the reflect tag. Harm is being dealt to these things, but it's only... Well, it was 3 harm done to it. It reflects half of that. Do I round up to 4 or down to 2?
I don't remember what the official ruling on this is. But usually I just say do whatever is more exciting.
Cool. I'm going to round that 3 up to 4. Half that, you take, Esme, you take, because it's affecting both of these guys, 2 instances of 2 harm.
2 instances of 2 harm. Oh, wait, I'm a psychic. I have 2 soak.
Awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
So as these slags are flying through the air, they splay themselves outward and shoot out like an anime series of crystalline spikes in your direction. And your armor between your armor and your mind powers, you just deflect each of them. Doing that Neo shit. Alright. Is that everybody's actions? Actually, that was a power.
I moved around a lot.
You did move around a lot. I think there was a movement in and then a movement out, so you could use the gravity ball. Awesome. I believe
I'm not going to hurt myself with the gravity ball.
All right, enemy phase. First, we need to deal with all of this bleed that you guys are chucking about. So first off, we'll get to player side bleed when we get back to the players. Enemy side bleed. The slag up on top of the Ferris wheel, it looks at both of you up there, our 2 cyborg brothers, and it starts glowing brighter and brighter blue, and you start getting this fuzzy, hard to think waviness in your brain. And then all of those little slices that Hank made, he just shatters. And the carriage up here at the top of the Ferris wheel is littered with quartz-like glowing blue crystals that begin to roll out and clatter to the ground.
Nice. Can I take his gun?
The gun also explodes. It looks like it was made out of the same thing as its body and was probably also part of its body in some way.
Oh, very rude.
Cool.
The other 2, I believe those were the only instances of bleed on enemies. So we can mark that on our campaign tracker for 1 enemy killed as far as drop, so that's an interloper defeated. We have I have enemies to activate. There are 2 slags that are pretty much occupying the same space as Freighter Joe right here. And, yeah, that's gonna be bad. But you know what? I think they're smart enough to know that Esme did that. So I think one of them... I'm trying to think if I can use these moves in any interesting way. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here, is there a cool tag that I could apply because of that? I think there is, but I don't remember what it's called. I'm not going to worry about it since it doesn't immediately come to mind. Actually, yeah, we're gonna go with that. One of the slags is going to stand up and just kind of full body bear hug Freighter Joe and just start immensely, intensely glowing bright blue and shaking. You can see these arcs of blue electricity jumping from it into Freighter Joe. Joe, you now have the shocked condition. So in the next round, anything you do does -1 harm. The other one is going to take a knee and aim its crystalline rifle at Esme and take a shot. Esme, you have 5 harm coming in your direction. You are also muted.
Shard just takes it.
Shard knocks it away. Awesome. You do, however, take 2 instances of bleed.
Ooh.
It has the draining quality, so you lose 1 biotech. Alright, that's those 2. And then there are 2 quadreps in the rides section. They have to move their action. Yeah, they're going to move their action to get up to the base of the Ferris wheel, but you are vertical, so I don't believe they can get to you. They can't attack at near or far range, so they can't get to you. But, oh, that's pretty cool. One of them is just going to lull out this long, slimy tongue. It's almost half the size of the creature itself, which is almost 12 feet long, and it slithers back and just starts sharpening all of the various spikes on this creature. And the other one is going to go up to the base of the Ferris wheel and just and spew this acidic spew all over the base of the Ferris wheel, and it sizzles, and you get to smell that ozone, and you look down and you can feel that as the Ferris wheel begins to list.
Hey, Hayden, can you do that thing where you get back down?
Yeah, but I can't bring you with me.
You don't need to.
Well, we'll get to that in just a minute, because I still have to change something in the battlefield, and that something, I believe, is going to be our mayhem meter, thanks to Solo Bepis.
Dear.
So we
no.
have a mayhem meter. I have 2 cool options here, and you know what, this is taking a little, it always goes a little longer than I would have liked, and you guys prioritized both of those transmitters, so I'm not going to bring the UFO early and start bombing you. Instead, we see movement over from the UFO ride. It looks like something dashed out of it and over to the tilt-a-whirl. And then, surprisingly, you start hearing music. And lights start flashing. What few lights are still intact, and you hear the whir of electricity as the tilt-a-whirl starts lifts up and starts spinning to the side, spinning to the other side. And the tilt-a-whirl comes flying off of the hinges and the mechanism and starts spinning end over end and slams straight into the Ferris wheel, knocking it over, throwing both of you out of this thing. And I'm actually going to give you a little bit of time. I'm not going to immediately do any damage. There might be more repercussions to this, but I'll let you act on your turn if there's a way you think you can save this. But first, I remove all the bleed from those enemies, and we generate 1 drop. So, somebody can pick up a biotech.
I would love to. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I would love to give that to you.
All right. And then we head back over to the player phase. I need both Hank and Esme to take 2 harm from bleed.
Is it 2?
It's not harm, it's actually
two
lose
just-
1 HP.
okay.
It goes through any of your defenses.
Cool.
Yep, yep, yep.
So you each lose 2 HP.
Okay.
Let's start with Hank and Hayden, who are flying through the air, probably a good, I don't know, how tall are Carnival Ferris wheels? Probably like 30, 35 feet high in the air or something, maybe even more than that. But not only are you falling, but you have a large chunk of metal falling with you, and another large spinning chunk of metal continuing to plow through the area.
Hi. So we're cyborgs.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for a good time, not a long time. By we, I mean I'm here for a good time,
Mm-hmm.
not a long time. I just got some biotech back, so we're gonna do it just like on 3V. Okay. I'm gonna use. I'm sure we have like some thrusters in our legs for, quick calibrations and whatnot.
Sure. Little
So
maneuvering
I'm
jets.
going to. Yep, I'm gonna grab my sibling. Gonna hit those thrusters to get us back onto the Ferris wheel, and we are going to just jump our way back down onto the ground safely.
All right. Yeah, the Ferris wheel is falling. The tilt-a-whirl is sort of plowing through this area. You don't need to use an action to use your power, but I will say you have to justify in a good enough way what attribute you're using, but you can use an action if you want to try to avoid all the harm that this thing is doing. Otherwise, there's like shrapnel flying all over the place. There's the tilt-a-whirl slamming into you. So you can get out of the way and avoid some of it, or you can roll, see how that goes, and potentially avoid all of it.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna barrel through it
All
because
right.
I'm strong. I'm gonna go ahead and use my down dice because more important than anything, I'm trying to make sure that Hayden doesn't get hurt
Okay.
for obvious reasons. So we're gonna roll it.
Okay.
That's rough.
All right. 4 partial success. So you lose 1 HP. You grab Hank and you start maneuver rockets, sliding your way down carriage from carriage. But shrapnel slams into you as you are going. You land weird on one of these carriages and your leg kind of buckles. You take 1 HP from that. The conditional consequence, I'm going to say, Hayden, Hank tosses you away, prioritizing your safety. You aren't going to take any damage from this, but the conditional consequence is that Hank will. So, Hank, you avoid most of the damage. You aren't going to be crushed underneath this Ferris wheel, but there is a number of shrapnel coming at you, and the tilt-a-whirl is still going. So that tilt-a-whirl actually does catch and slam into the side of you. You throw Hayden off to one side, and you go spinning through the air on the other side. And you are going to take... let me just make sure this is an appropriate amount, and I think it... mean, it would be. Yeah. Yeah, because true harm. Yeah, you are going to take 5 true harm. Fortunately, you have a shard still left.
Correct.
All right. So that blows your shard, but both of you actually do manage to escape from the barrage of a tilt-a-whirl.
See? I'm all good. Mm.
How's Hank looking? Just out of curiosity.
Just like Ferris wheel bar sticking out of it.
Still smiling. Mhm.
Okay.
On the other side, the arcade side, you can obviously see this happening. The tilt-whirl smashes into this and actually rolls into the lake. And you know what? I'm just going to have it crush the slag that you tossed in there before. So that slag is dead. It just crushes it completely underneath this tilt-a-whirl. So I will mark that on the drop generator. And because the Mayhem meter costs $50 to activate, I want everybody to enjoy the fun. I dealt you some pain, so now I'm going to give you a little bit of a bonus. Over on the arcade side, Freighter Joe, you look around and you see a hammer in this pile of junk. It looks like it came from somewhere, near the test your strength area, but it's not the hammer attached to that. It came from somewhere else. Except this hammer, it's a big hammer. And it has a rocket on the back of one of the heads. It's a rocket-powered hammer. I'm giving you a rocket-powered hammer, sir.
Hey, yo.
Do with that as you please.
Absolutely.
Mayhem meter.
Yeah, so who's still up and around here?
Both of the slags.
Both of them?
Yep.
It's hammer time.
And I will say the other two on the other side, you clearly did see that was the gray that just messed with the tilt-whirl, so you have eyes on it.
Right, which, I mean, our orders are not to harm it, so, like, we'll make our way over there. I think the way we're going to do this is... Well, I'll do it one at a time. First, I want to smash one of these slags here.
All right.
And I'll use my downtime die, because why not?
Let me clarify, because this is a... I actually wonder how you would run this. Let me actually pause, and this is a great time for a creator insight. How would you run player information, character information? How much can we assume that your operatives would know about all these more advanced enemies and what this glowing blue nonsense is?
So what I would do if I was running this, Freighter Joe picks up the hammer, he swings it. I would just be very abundantly clear. I would say, you hit him, and his glowing blue energy clearly absorbs all of that attack, and you can see that won't work.
Yeah.
And I would perhaps even go a step further and say, you can tell that, smash attack, like smash is not a way that he can be hurt.
Yeah.
I would just make that very explicit.
Yes. Though it was the other two that was dealing with the other one of these things, so you actually don't have that knowledge.
I'm willing to be like, Freighter Joe is going to waste an attack on this.
The other two of you, Hank and Hayden, you can see Smash is clearly not, no matter how hard you smash into one of these crystal beings, it's not doing anything. But Freighter Joe, you're attacking.
Yes, so I would make that a step more explicit, but yeah, I'll happily give up my downtime die. I smash. It's a full success. It doesn't matter. But there we are. Then what I would like to do, Freighter Joe figures out that this isn't going to work, so he says, you know what? These guys aren't the problem anyway. Esme, you ready to go?
Yep. And she is going to, I think, run the two range bands to get to Freighter Joe.
Okay. Because then I'm just going to just like 3V. So it was twice to get out here, right? 1, 2, and then it was 2 more to get to where they're at in like the ruins of this Ferris wheel. 1, 2.
Correct.
And then I'm running low on biotech. I'm not out, but I'm down to 2. So I'm going to reach into my satchel and pull out my bio injector
Awesome.
and get a little refresh on that. And I still have an action left.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sorry, where is... So can I... You said I can see the Gray Brain. Where is he?
The Gray Brain is currently hiding behind the whirligig.
Can I move to him and then just try and grab him in like a bear hug?
So I need to try to keep up with how many instances of 3V you are using. You are using one range band to get to the bridge between the arcade and the rides, another one to get to the base of the Ferris wheel, and then you would need another one to get into close range to the Gray Brain.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And if Esme wants to come with, you're more than welcome.
Very much so.
Okay. Yeah, and then I just want to grab this guy. Can I just like bear hug him?
Yes, you will have to roll for that though.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my smash here.
All right, bear hug.
Got a 6.
You guys just
Hell
cannot
yeah.
roll failures.
And then
yeah.
I between missions I upgraded my strength. I spent 4 script to bring it up to 4, which is why I'm so
Nice.
effective at this. Is the next step like getting to the evac zone, or what do we do with this?
Yes, you need to get to the evac zone with the Gray Brain. So you have each of you has some like road flares. You need to get out of the general carnival grounds and light those and wait a turn for evac.
So I've got 3 more biotech here.
You just want to bounce.
I just want to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, you could get out.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop all 3 of my biotech, bam, 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 and just drag this guy over just like 3V.
Okay. You are leaving Esme though, because you are taking the Gray Brain.
I sure am.
All right.
Sorry, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
that's
out.
me. I'm out of action. So.
Okay. Were there? You said there were quadreps down here.
Yes.
Actually,
Cool.
if I could,
So-
I might be able to help you if I use some powers first.
By all means.
Where are the quadreps? What range bands are they in relation to me?
They are at near range to you.
Both of them are at near
Yes.
range? Could I maneuver so that one of them is near and one is close?
Not really. They're pretty much
Okay.
Both of them are right at the base of what was the Ferris wheel.
Well, if they're both in near range... let's see. Ooh.
I usually
Well, then,
avoid doing this, but I am going to ask to try to keep it snappy.
I'm gonna use the beam cannon.
All right.
I'm just gonna have fun with it. And then I am going to so just one of those quads there's no other guys basically, right? Oh no, there's
The
Uh,
crystalline
I
guys,
think
they're
that's
on the other
the
side.
that's
slag.
outside of far.
Both
is it?
slags here were taken care of. The 2 in the arcade area are beyond far range at this point.
Beyond far. Okay. I'm just gonna psychic laser one of these guys.
All right.
It has lethal and shred and gets 4 harm and painted.
Okay.
Jeez.
Lethal ignores
Shit.
barrier and resilient. Shred removes soak. So these quadreps, they have 3 soak. Okay, so it doesn't ignore the soak, but it does decrement it after the attack. So 4 harm coming into it. It reduces that by 3. 1 harm goes through. It takes 1 damage, and its soak is decremented down to 2. And it's painted.
Fantastic. So I have a flare gun, yeah?
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the other one's gonna be screwed.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna I'm gonna start swinging with my sword.
All right. Screwed specifically for the audience is an actual condition tag that you can apply. Any entity that has the screwed tag now takes double harm, which is nasty.
It is, in fact, very nasty.
All right,
All
do
right,
your
so
thing.
we're gonna go ahead. Yeah, smash. Hoya!
Another full success. You
Cool
attacking?
beans. And then,
Are you attacking the painted one or the screwed one?
I'm hoping to attack them both.
Okay.
I get 2 attacks per action.
All right. Yeah.
So that first one is gonna be for the one that's painted.
All right.
Okay, so
Painted means that it takes +1 harm from all attacks.
gotcha. Also, I deal double harm when I roll a 6.
Yes. What is that tag? Brutal?
My sword is brutal.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, you rolled a 6. So doubled
Yeah,
and then +1 from painted. So how much harm are you throwing at this thing?
All right, so that is 5, so 10.
Okay.
And it ignores soap.
Yeah.
And I've got bleed 2.
You cleave this 12-foot long lizard in 2.
Okay, and then we're gonna hit the other one, or
All
attempt
right.
to. Oh, buddy, that roll was feast or famine.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yikes. All right, still a 6 though. So, do I double harm?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey yo,
That's nasty.
That's wild. That's
That is
gross.
nasty.
Yeah,
What does that mean? 4 doubled to 8, doubled to 16 harm?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Two quick actions. You chop both of these quadrips apart. What does that look like?
So just seeing them because they were approaching us, and so Hank just kind of gets down low. Hi. And just rushes forward. Just one big sweep. Sword just going through both of them. Like there's just spray, there's bits of quadrep just all around. He's covered. It's fine. It's not a neat or tidy scene, to be sure. All right, so way's clear. Shall we go?
Hayden's just like watching in like awe/horror. Like,
Right.
just like that was so cool and so horrifying.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
I didn't know you could
think it
do
was
that.
gonna go- Yeah. It's a good sword, right? Good sword.
A really good sword. Should we be running? We should be running.
Yes, we should be running. Yeah.
I will say, you've cleared out all of the interlopers on this side of the map. You guys can simply use actions to get out of here, and you will be not to draw this out any longer than it needs to be. We can jump straight to extraction at this point because you guys blitzed through this mission.
Can we
That was
roll
the
for
goal.
drops in case that it's
Yes.
gear or
construction parts?
construction
Yeah.
parts?
So I don't believe bleed for players has to specifically be removed with a healing item. So the two of you that still have it, you would take 2 more HP damage. I don't think that matters to either of you.
Doesn't
It
get
does
me
not.
down to
It doesn't
0.
doesn't get you down to 0. Awesome. So then we will just jump to generating drops. 1 biotech, 2 HP, which is helpful, but we are going to drop to a cutscene, and as the 3 of you left begin to make your way out of the carnival because Freighter Joe grabbed this guy and just GTFO'd, you 3 are running out of this carnival ground, and you can see the orange laser beam fire of these slags shooting in your direction, ground spraying up underneath you, more clown statues exploding, different stalls breaking apart and falling to the ground, but you manage to disappear into the woods. Joe is already there with a number of road flares already out, and you can see the tactical blimp swoop in. And I can just imagine that Joe has this gray brain alien in a one-armed like chokehold between his arms, and you one-handed climb your way up back into the tactical blimp.
Yeah.
With that, Operation
so-
Wayward Curd is a success.
I love that for
Yeah.
us.
We do. Really love that.
Very well done, Joe. I'd say that you've earned a promotion.
Oh. We've gone from exposure to actual payment.
Yes, Joe will be earning 1 extra script from this mission.
Wow.
I'm
can-
putting him on a salary.
You can make that kind of decision?
Joe,
Well, it'll
listen.
be from my script, but yes.
Joe,
That's really
don't
cool.
spend that all in one place now. You know? Gotta spend smart. Thank you. Yes. I love the serious nod. Yes, of course.
All right. With that, you can quickly just sleeper hold this gray brain into unconsciousness and make your way back to the ship. The tactical blimp docks in the hangar bay of this alien spacecraft, and you pull this gray brain out, and Dr. Winona, not Winona, Dr. Tallulah Tails is already there with a few beefier guys who has a set of glowing green manacles that goes over, and they clamp them into wrist and ankle shackles and put duct tape over where there would be a mouth, but these gray brains don't have a mouth, so you're not really sure why they're doing it, but they do it, and drag this mostly unconscious gray brain off to some containment cell somewhere.
Actually, duct tape has very potent anti-psychic properties. That's why we hate it.
I learned
What?
something new.
No. Nuh-uh. That's not true, is it?
Chase
No,
the fur.
entirely made up. I am messing with you.
I was really excited.
Mm.
I thought I was learning a new fact.
Well, you did learn something. Esme can tell a joke.
And I'm getting paid. Not to laugh. I did that for free.
Yeah. It's just complimentary, yeah. This is very good.
So in the last little bit, let's make sure we wrap up all of our missions, get through our performance review, and we can start off next week with the fallout from this, and probably assaulting the Valdivian research and development sector. That's going to be our second main story mission. We are really fast-tracking this campaign for you guys. But our 8 operatives, or we'll see about that because we still have to roll for our secondary mission. But we see this four team of operatives walk into the director's office, and let's take a look at our secondary mission. So Wayward Kurd was a resounding success. You had a 5-turn timer, you added 2 to that by blowing up both of those relays, and it only took you 2 turns to get there and get out. So you blitzed through that. You did not... I was worried you guys might stick around and try to go toe-to-toe with some of these beefier aliens, but you managed to kill a good amount of them and complete the objective in great time. So that's fantastic. Let's take a look at Operation Mozzarella Mash. So we have to head back to our secondary mission. As usual, we start with 1 die for every 2 operatives that have a career, plus 1 die, so that is another 2 die for each injured operative minus 1 die. Is anybody injured? Isn't somebody injured? Yeah, Pack-Rat is injured. That subtracts a die. Operatives with gear with 3 or more tags. Who's got that?
Ash does.
Ash?
Pack-Rat also has.
Pack-Rat. Awesome. Powers from rows 3, 4, 5, or 6? I don't believe so. Do you?
I don't believe. Hold on, let me double check. I think Data lost his second. So yeah, no.
All right. You are not only intern, so that's fine. If the target faction has a threat level of 3 or higher, this is against Valdivian, which has a threat level of 2, so you're fine there. Good work knocking that down. I believe you knocked that down.
Yeek.
That is everything. So you should have 4 dice to roll on your secondary mission. We'll see if it rolls correctly this time. Somebody other than
else.
Q. Yeah, somebody else. Aaron, I'm putting you on the spotlight.
I was going into it.
Awesome.
Okay.
I believe it's already filled out, so you should just need to click roll for secondary mission.
The roll for secondary mission. Did that not go?
That did go.
Oh, no, it did. Yes.
But once again, it rolled 1 more dice than it should have. I'm not sure what we're filling out incorrectly, but we'll look at that later. So that's actually a highest result of 4, which is a partial success. That means on a roll of 3 to 4, you still succeed, but at a cost, and that cost is injury or death. So either 1 operative dies or 2 operatives become injured. Obviously, Ash already being injured can't become injured.
Ash is not injured anymore.
Not injured. Pack-Rat. Yeah, I was last week.
There's actually a third option.
We have Trish.
Yeah.
Or you could kill
We did
Trish.
send Trish.
Yep.
Yeah.
we kind of did put Trish on this mission to die. I think we can kill Trish.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole point.
We are sacrificing Trish. No more
sure,
Trish.
People are going to be like, this is our chance to get Nibbles out of here.
I mean, so I will say, Alex, I don't want to get Nibbles out of here, but also if you wanted the dramatic moment, I did not want to take that away from you by killing the intern. So I did want to check in and see if you wanted to volunteer Nibbles for death.
I will say this. I feel like if Nibbles died right now, his arc has mostly passed here. So I will say, Aaron, you spent money on Trisha. If you want to keep her around, feel free to toss Nibbles under the proverbial bus.
Or literal bus. We don't know how this went down.
Yeah.
I think it's fine having. We're going into a story mission. If this was on like after a story mission, I might have let Nibbles die, but I don't want to go in this with an intern.
All right. Nibbles lives again.
All right. Nibbles survives. Pack-Rat is still injured, and we are sacrificing our Esme's assistant, Trish. All right.
Yep.
Trish is down. But the mission overall was
Lend
still a
you my
success.
employee for one mission, and you can't even bring her back.
All
We
right.
did bring her back, just not alive.
Let's end with wrapping up our campaign tracker, and then we will pick up next week with the debriefing, and probably jump immediately into the subsequent briefing for our second main story mission. We had a lot of great role play in the beginning of this, so we kind of front loaded that. We'll get to more downtime, hopefully at the end of the next main story mission. But we had 3 missions to resolve on our campaign tracker. Have you guys already messed with those?
No.
No. Cool.
No.
Okay, so we had Operation Wayward Kurd against the Interlopers, which was a resounding success. So that means, I believe it decreases the victory meter by 2 and threat by 1, right?
Mhm.
The target's victory meter decreases by 2.
Yeah, so we were at 4, so we're down to 2.
It doesn't mess with the threat level. Did that record it correctly? Well, Interlopers, you knocked that down. Awesome.
Yay, victory meter. Whee.
I'm just checking something super quick right here. There we go. Okay. Cool. The next mission. Operation Mozzarella Mash was also a success, but with some problems. But that does not matter for this. This was targeting Valdivian, but it actually disrupts the Interlopers once again. So that is going to decrease their victory meter by another 2.
Okay.
Awesome. Interlopers were taken out this gameplay loop. Went from 5 victory meter down to 0 now. Awesome. Threat level still remains, though. Hard to get that down. Easy to get it up. Difficult to get it down. Okay, and finally, Operation Feta Phantom. The mission we did not go on, our underwater battleship, which would have been so cool, but they all would have been so cool, and I had a lot of fun playing the Carnival. But that targeted Valdivian and the military. This is a mission that targets multiple factions. So if a mission has 2 factions involved on a success, well, that doesn't matter. On a failure, each faction's threat level increases by 1. So that is Valdivian and the military. And their victory meters increase by 2 apiece. Fortunately, the military doesn't have a victory meter, but Valdivian is looking dangerous. Did you already increase that victory meter?
Yes.
Awesome. So we were at 6 out of 10 victory meter for Valdivian and 3 out of 4 threat. That's crazy. That is all 3 of our current missions.
Down. Really gonna need to spin that down.
Yes. All right, let's roll for script. Secondary mission, everybody gets 4 script. For the primary mission, that is a 4. 4 plus 4, 8 script for the primary mission, plus 1 for a kill. I know Hank got a kill.
Hank got 3.
I think Hank got all the kills.
Yeah.
We got off the case. I'm so sorry.
Did Freighter Joe manage to kill somebody?
Mm-mm.
No, it's just Hank. Yeah. All right. That is your payout.
Okay. So it was how much?
4 plus 4
Eight.
is 8. 8
Eight.
script for the primary, 4 for the secondary.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
With that, we are going to leave all 8 of our operatives in Director Imalaya's office. The secondary team, a little bit more beat up. Esme, you notice the obvious lack of Trish in this meeting now, and you can see up on the performance review board, it does list Trish as currently deceased. And the director turns around, clipboard in hand, takes in a breath to speak to you, and the camera zooms out of the large bay window and out into space once again, and we see looming high above the Earth in a distant orbit, we see a massive UFO. One that we saw a glimpse of during the very beginning of the first mission, and it just hovers there, glowing sparkles almost of green against the starlit night sky. But we also see a little man-made satellite go just flying past it, and our camera follows that and turns with it and zooms in as if looking through this satellite down to a volcano in the middle of the Pacific Ocean somewhere. Zoom and enhance, zoom and enhance, zoom and enhance, until we see built into the very caldera of this volcano, sort of suspended above the lava pool by these thick cords, we see some sort of Valdivian research and development building here, tied into the very lava pools and thermodynamic power of this volcano. And sticking out the top of it, at the top of this tower that is sort of corded and suspended above this volcano, we see this lightly shimmering and pulsing purple orb. And that's where we're going to end it for this episode of Corpo-Rat Shills. We will pick up next week for our assault on this Valdivian research and development sector. This main story mission is specifically targeted to get into this building and get whatever data or technology Valdivian currently has in their plan to get up to the UFO and take it out. That will lead us, of course, into our final major story mission, probably after one or two more support missions before then, and then we'll get to see if we can actually drive the interloper menace from our fair planet and make Valdivian look bad doing it. I hope you guys had fun. I enjoyed this episode immensely. We had some fantastic roleplay in the beginning, and we actually managed to get through a whole mission in that second half. Let's wrap this up so we can get to an after show. And thank you so much, everybody in chat. It's been an active chat. I haven't been able to keep up with it because I've been GMing for my life over here. But thank you so much for chatting. Thank you so much for the subs and the mayhem meter, Solo Bepis. There was a number of other contributions. Thank you so much for all the channel points. I'm gonna keep this quick. If you want to help support the channel even more, go hit all the buttons everywhere. Follow, subscribe, whatever it may be. Retweet. Hang out with us on Twitter and on Discord. Go over to our YouTube where you can check out previous episodes, where you can check out previous seasons, where you can get the bite-sized tutorials, where you can see our Whip Workshop creator interviews, and a whole bunch of one-shot charity events that we ran a while back, and hopefully many more to come. And of course, you can head over to our Ko-Fi, where we will be uploading the after shows that we do after the end of every show here, as well as written guides for our written guides and reference sheets for our bite-sized tutorials, and different just blog postings and my GM notes as far as player side and GM side extras and tips and all of that. That is all I have. Be sure to check back next week for another episode of Corpo-Rat Shills, and stop by on Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST for another Whip Workshop creator interview with Rene Pierre, I believe it is, who's working on Stoneburner, which is basically dwarves mining asteroids in space, and it looks fantastic. But let me pass it over to my fantastic cast over here, which just kudos once again. Amazing roleplay, blitzing through that mission. Let's kick it off in reverse as we always do. JD.
And one day I will remember that clearly. It is not today, but that is okay. I am JD. I have been Hayden and Ian tonight. You can find me tomorrow night with Live from the Apocalypse. We will be recording our next episode of Academy H, our Masks Actual Play podcast, which we record live and then put out on your podcatcher of choice. So if you want to join us for that mayhem, there will definitely be mayhem. And then I will be with Tales from the Table Studios this coming Monday for A Crumbling Foundation. It'll be a good week. So those are the things that I will be doing between now and when I am back here next Saturday. And if you want to know more about what's coming up in terms of my projects, follow me on socials at JD Not Jason Dean.
Awesome.
Exciting.
Aaron, how about you?
All right. I am Aaron. I was Esme and Ash. And I am a performer, game designer, layout artist. You can follow me on Twitter at Veil's Edge Games, and you can find my games on itch.io under the same Veil's Edge Games. I have a Lumen game, so if you liked the sort of fast-paced combat that Cyberrats has, you can also check out Firmament, which is similar but is fantasy celestial game. All
I
right.
just bought it yesterday. I'm so excited.
Nice.
Thanks.
Q, great segue. What are you up to?
Fantastic. Hi. So I'm Q. You can find me on socials at midnight_inc. That is INQ. Okay, again, because my name is Q. I hope you get it. Next thing I have coming up is Tuesday on Tales from the Table Studios. We're going to be playing a Fudge Dice system. The world ended today. This is not post-apoc. This is apocalypse is happening right now, and it's already weird. It's been fantastic, and we've got just 2 more little sessions, so it's good to enjoy. Every other Thursday, I'm again on Tales from the Table Studio. We're doing Successor States of Rhaegar. We're currently on Shadow of the Dragon. We have switched from D&D to Pathfinder because, fucking reasons. Wizards are not in this year, apparently, for many reasons. Other than that, I'm just out here on the internet doing things and also stuff. I'm looking forward to some projects coming up. Very excited. I can't talk about them yet, though.
All right. I know how that is.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. And of course, rounding us off as always, the reason why we are here and the ammunition for all of the fantastic things I get to do to this unsuspecting cast. Alex, Cyberrats.
Hello, yes, I am Alex Rinehart. You can find me on Twitter at AlexReinhardt_. I made Cyberrats and am knee-deep in playtesting the expansion, so if you want to get in on that, we have playtest packets available. I am also currently running a Kickstarter for a game called Shoppers. There are 5 days left, and we were, last time I checked, $50 away from our next stretch goal. So check out Shoppers. It is a slice of life game with tiny little mini games in a shopping mall. It is super fun. And that's all I can think of right now. So follow me on Twitter to see what else I'm working on whenever I remember.
All right. Awesome. Yes, I do highly encourage you guys to go out and pick up your own copy of Cyberrats. Let me drop that in here. There we go. Go check out Cyberrats. It's a fantastic game. You can get it real cheap on Alex's itch site, which I just dropped. And there's physical copies available now, right? And they look absolutely beautiful. I want one so bad. We'll see if we can make it work. Yeah, go check that out. Go check out all the other things I already talked about. We are going to head off. Let's see if there's somebody we can raid. Let's go check out, let's go check out some Tabletop Titties. They're playing, Dungeons & Dragons. That sounds fun. Let's do that. So we're going to raid them. If I can remember how to spell. Put spaces in this, right? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go do an after show. Check out Twitter and Ko-Fi to see when that drops. It's been great. Everybody stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, keep having fun, keep checking back here at RPGs Uncovered for more demo play, mini-series, and bite-sized tutorials for the next upcoming fantastic indie games out there. And when you are staring down the maws of a 12-foot long acid-spewing lizard, what it probably wants is just a snack of heart tomatoes, so remember to bring some along on your missions. Good night, everybody.